Welcome to the ClevelandMoto Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to the ClevelandMoto Podcast, episode number 544. Light 'em up, boys. Oh, yes.
How did you get Dustin to do that voiceover for you? That sounded really good.
It did sound like Dustin. And tonight on podcast number 544, I love a rainy night. To my immediate left, we have
Dan Krapke.
And to his left,
Steve Sleepy.
And to his left,
John E. Mack.
And Corman on the corner,
Speed E. Pete.
And on the opposite end of the table,
Piece of shit.
Agreed.
Smith.
And behind the bar tonight,
Tom Pennington.
Tom Pennington. We have experienced 3 seasons in one day. And how kooky it was that this morning at like 7 o'clock this morning, I woke up, I went to look at a warehouse, and I was like, is it really that warm out? And I jumped out, and 56 degrees, jumped on the BMW R9T, Ewan McGregor's old bike, jumped on the R9T Urban, and rode out to North Ridgeville, smile on my face, and by the time I got to the driveway, it was 66 degrees.
Nice.
Oh, man, sun was shining, birds were chirping, everything was great. Went and had a breakfast that couldn't be beat, a little local breakfast place there. Saw my friend Shane Post, just had a really, really good experience.
Discovered a vehicle you didn't know you had?
Well, that was a few weeks ago. Yeah, I did realize I'd accidentally abandoned one of my Toyota JDM Estima Eminas over at Shane's place.
Is that what this is?
Yeah.
That thing's cool as fuck.
Isn't that cool?
I kind of was like, I can't tell anymore.
Right.
So I was like, I don't think I've seen that one before.
No.
Well, he's only
I thought you bought a new one.
he's only got 14 of them.
I know. That's why I never know. Especially if they're
and one of
spaceship
them's actually a Previa.
They're so small you can leave them sitting around. You forget about them.
Yeah.
What's funny is now I'm down to actually owning only one real Previa. So I have one, and that's the 1991. That's the one that's ridiculously lowered. That one is a real honest to God Previa that I own. And then the other one that I have out there today, that's in the parking lot today, is an Estima Emina, which is a much smaller, it's narrower.
An enema?
It's an Enema. Yeah, it's an Emina. Yeah, exactly.
It's so fun sliding up your ass.
It is just, and it's such a cool car. And I've had it, I bought it, over a year and a half ago. And then I parked it over at Shane's house to do a little bit of work here and touch up here and touch up that. We had to put new calipers in it and stuff like that. And I went there to drop off my wife's car for work. And I said, look, one of the people that I sold an Estima to must have needed some work and took my advice and brought it here to Shane's. And then I went in, I was like, whose Estima's out there you're working on? He goes, that's yours, dumbass. And yeah, I totally forgot I owned the damn thing. And it's true, that shit does happen. It's weird, but
Well, I was reading a story a while ago. The guy that played Dumbledore, I can't remember the actor's name.
the big fella, yeah,
Yeah, the original one.
yeah.
Lost a Rolls Royce that he'd gotten in the 70s in New York because he was stoned and drunk all the time.
Oh my God.
And he didn't remember it until the 90s, apparently.
They made a movie about it. It was called Dude, Where's My Car?
But apparently his accountant's like, hey, what's this bill for $300,000 for parking fees in New York? And he's like, oh shit, I own a Rolls Royce.
And that's the kind of thing that happens. I think this one's actually a Lucida. But yeah, so that's a real thing that did happen. It did happen to me. It's not a fable. It actually did happen.
You're one of the only people I know that could happen to, though.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah,
it's a real thing. And I was very happy to have it because now the gas is really expensive. My F-150 gets 18 to 20 miles per gallon, and this gets considerably more.
Yeah.
So that's a nice thing to be able to have a
minivan.
minivan.
I expect the diesel stripper van to be out pretty soon too.
Oh
though.
God, yeah.
Your Boso,
Yeah, the the Boso Zoku 3.0 liter turbo.
I figure that's coming up soon.
The High Ace.
Here?
Yeah, that one's probably a good time
penis.
for that one to find its way out too. But yeah, so it's kind of funny. It's just it is a funny state of affairs. Today was a great day. We got a lot of people to come and pick their bikes up at the shop, including one Chris Smith.
Whee!
So
I did.
And he got valet service. Renee picked him up at his house. So that was pretty cool. So he got valet service, got picked up and came into the shop.
Chris Smith just sat down with 10 Shibapshi.
Yeah, the food
There's only
today.
2 left.
Craft Services nailed it, Tom.
Look at that.
Wow. That is such a fucking spread, man.
Smith, you're good at putting meat in your mouth, dude.
Yeah, that's a
Smile when you say
mission.
that.
That is a mission.
That's Tom's meat in your mouth.
We got valet service last night at a Mexican restaurant in St. Mary's, Pennsylvania.
Ooh, straw beer.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Well, there's only one Uber driver in all of St. Mary's. She was available when we went to the restaurant.
Oh, God.
We called for the Uber after we ate, and we waited and we waited. There's no Uber coming. No, still looking for a driver.
Why didn't you want to ride your bikes over?
It had been a long day. We'd done some work, and a couple guys might have been imbibing a little bit, and we took our gear off, and we decided to Uber, man.
Well, where were you? You were doing something pretty interesting.
Well, we'll get to that. I think.
Okay.
But, anyhow, so we're the guy's running the Mexican restaurant that we ate at. He's like, "You guys staying at the Best Western over there?" I was like, "Yeah," and he said, "I said we're waiting for an Uber, but she's not showed up." He said, "I'll give you a ride." So
Okay.
the guy
That's pretty handy.
puts us in his Jeep Grand Cherokee or whatever it was and drives us there. We gave him the $10 or $12, whatever we were going to give the Uber.
Oh, that's
driver.
fantastic.
Very nice.
He was happy, and he got out and looked at our bikes. They were sitting in front of the hotel, and they were all covered in mud and stuff. And he got out and looked at those, and then it was a win-win situation.
And you got the cred, man.
and the food was good.
So Pete's got a date next weekend.
Yeah,
Nice. Nice. So, what was the event that you went down to, Pete?
it wasn't really an event. It was we rode out to St. Mary's and picked up. Well, actually, we left Ohio, and right when we got into Pennsylvania, we picked up the Cross Pennsylvania Adventure Trail, which goes from Erie out to the east side of Pennsylvania, where it meets New Jersey, like a Delaware water
okay.
gap area
Yeah.
or something. We didn't do the whole thing, but we did pick it up somewhere around Meadville and took it out to St. Mary's, and then we camped there camped at the Best Western in St. Mary's.
Good way to camp.
And then the next day we did the Pennsylvania BDR X route, which is a 500-mile off-road circuit. We did it in 3 days, came back to St. Mary's, stayed at that same Best Western, and then I just rode home this morning. I left there about 8 this morning and got home about 1 o'clock.
Did you freeze your balls off?
Yeah, it was cold. We had snow. We didn't have any rain, which was cool, which was great. I mean, but we did have snow the first and second day. And yesterday morning we were in Wellsboro, and when we got up to get on the bikes, it was 26 degrees. So it was cold. But
Any frost on the bikes?
there was a lot of frost on the bikes. Yeah, we had to knock it off. But worse than the frost on the bikes was the guy that was in the motel. So we're in an old school motel at that point in Wellsboro, and it's like 5:30 in the morning. This guy fires his Jeep up right outside of our room. The headlights are beaming in our window, even with the blackout shades, and the car's running. It had like a loud exhaust, and he's got the radio thumping too. You can hear the bass, so it wakes me up, and I'm like stewing. I'm like, okay, the guy started his car. He's going to leave in 5 minutes. No. 30 minutes later. 30 minutes.
Oh, that thing would have had tailpipe issues at that point.
I was thinking about something. And I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't do it.
You're smart.
Here's what I should have done. This is what I would have liked to have done is park my bike behind him so he can't get out.
Yes.
Yes.
And then I say, well, it's going to take 30 minutes to warm up. That's the way it works.
Yeah,
It's real
sorry.
cold. You know how it works.
Yeah.
I
put really thin oil in it because it likes it. Now it's all clonked up. Sorry, man.
But so I'm out there like dusting off the bike, getting the frost off the seat and handlebars and stuff. And the guy comes out. He goes, "Hey, you getting ready to get it, are you?" I said, "Well, I am now since you woke me up, half an hour ago."
Thanks, pal.
Yeah. So anyhow, but no, the trail was fantastic. I would recommend the Pennsylvania BDRX for anyone that's within distance of getting to it. It was one of the easier BDRs I've done.
Yeah. What kind of a bike do you think you need? Because I know,
you could have done it on a Harley. Well,
Really?
that's a bit of an exaggeration.
okay.
But no, you wouldn't need like a super hardcore bike to do it. It would be great on a big bike, a little bike. I mean, you could ride like a R1200 GS out
So
there.
you take were you on your 800?
I was on the 800. Yeah,
And you
so-
didn't have any issues with?
No, zero.
That's the big thing for me doing stuff like that is if you have a heavier bike, if it gets too much hills or something, my knees are going to blow out. So was it kind of like hill climbing or?
There was a lot of hills. Yeah, I mean, you're in central Pennsylvania. It's pretty hilly there, mountainous.
Yeah.
They're small mountains, but they I think
Damn, that sounds fun, man.
And we had a really unique mix of bikes too. We had a KTM 390R, brand new one. Only had 100 miles on it when the guy left. We had a DR 650. That's Ryan that I worked with at the firehouse. The guy that went to Alaska on it. I think he was on the podcast when he came home from Alaska. I don't know if you guys remember.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
Absolutely.
Very accomplished rider. He's got like 50 or 60,000 miles on that DR. I had my F800 GS, and then Dave Nolan had his BMW 1200 HP2, which is an absolute rocket ship dirt bike racing.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a racehorse basically.
Did he have like a backpack or what? Because you can't put bags on that, can you?
No, he had like the just like the droop over kind of I forget what they call them.
I know what you're talking
about.
about.
A rackless system. He didn't
Yeah.
have like hard bags or racks.
Yeah, what do you call those? That's a company. Oh man.
The
Great Loop?
No,
yes. Well, that is.
well, the
that's one of them.
KTM was running the giant loops,
Giant
but
loops,
he was trying out a new setup, and it wasn't where he was constantly having to adjust it and fine tune it because, like I said, new bike, and he was getting used to it. Dave had the Moscow Reckless, is their rackless system. They call it the Reckless. I had the Moscow backcountry bags that would slide onto the pannier mounts, and then Ryan had Wolfman. So we had 4 diversely different bikes with 4 diversely different packing systems, but we all rode well together. 2 guys crashed, the 390 and the DR 650. The 2 BMWs didn't crash.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
But,
so the 2 bikes that were kind of most capable for like being light and easy to pop
Yeah.
around on are the 2 bikes that went down.
Well, the one guy was new on his machine, so
Okay.
he was getting used to how it handled. And there was some slimy mud. We had snow a couple times that we had to drive through. There was loose gravel. There was packed gravel, and he washed out the front end on a gravel kind of sweeper, downhill right-hand sweeper. He just kind of washed out the front end and went off it. No damage or anything. And then the 650, Ryan, he's a real aggressive rider. We had to go around a fallen tree, so we had to go off the road, up over. Yeah, we had to cut the end of the tree. We had packed saws with us because we had anticipated that.
Yeah.
So we cut the tree, but you had to like go up off the road to get around it, up a big berm basically. And he lost his momentum just at the top of the berm, and the bike was falling down to the roadside, which was the low side. And I complimented him after. I was like, "That is a perfect ejection, like a fighter pilot hitting the ejection seat," because it was a long way to fall, and he didn't want to be attached to the bike falling down that thing. He probably would have got hurt. So he just jumped off and let the bike fall over. It was spilling gas and stuff, but between the 3 of us and him, got it back upright, and then he got around it. But yeah, it was quite adventurous because of the cold and because of the varied conditions. But and then we had the 2 times we came across down trees. The first one was too big to move or to cut, so we used other broken logs to make like a ramp up the front side of it.
Cool.
And we rode the bikes up as far as we could until they like get caught on the skid plate, and then the other guys were there waiting to catch, and then we had to like heave the bikes over the log. It was probably a 24-inch log. We were too heavily loaded, and nobody wanted to be like
Rip it.
nobody wanted to just send it right. I thought Ryan might, but it was a pretty good drop on the other side. If you would have like timed it wrong or something, it could have been disastrous. But we got all the bikes over the log, and then we got all the bikes around the next log, and there was plenty of logs that they'd fallen, but the trees like completely shattered, so you could just kind of ride through them. Or they,
You lay all those logs in front of the log, and you think you're going to rip it, and then when you rip it, all those logs just roll out from under your back tire.
well, actually, a couple times, the first guy tried to do it. His skid plate we thought was going to slide over the tree. Well, it like stoved into the tree.
Oh, shit.
And then he was giving it the beans, and it was shooting the logs out like pa-chung, 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 And but yeah, it was very adventurous. But I was glad we only had to do that twice with the trees, because maybe the 4th, 5th, 6th, 10th time doing it would have kind of gotten old, and we weren't making very good time. I'm going to say between the 2 fallen trees, it was 30 or 45 minutes.
You should have just laid one log up on the log and rode right up that log and over the tree.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. But yeah. I didn't think of that, John. She sure brought you.
Only Johnny Mac can do that.
Here was the good thing. After the second log crossing, a truck was coming the other direction. There was a guy who was trying to go fishing. There was like streams all through there. So we knew that the truck had gotten through, so we're like, okay, there's going to be no more logs down this way. So, yeah, that was good. It ended up being, the loop itself was like 550 miles, and then it was like 250 miles out to St. Mary's, and then 250 miles back this morning. So I did like 1,000 miles between Sunday and today. So it was the first time really getting out for the year. Felt good.
Sounds like you're well rested too from the whole thing.
Well, you know what? I came home, the house was empty. I took about an hour nap and kind of recharged my batteries, and I'm sure I'm going to sleep well tonight.
Yeah, that sounds pretty
Then
amazing.
Smith
man.
called.
Oh,
Yeah, right. Smith called and we went visiting. Yeah.
wow, that sounds awesome, man.
Yeah, it was good. I would highly recommend the Pennsylvania BDR X to anybody that wants to like dip their toe into some adventure riding, or even somebody that's experienced at adventure riding. I found it very enjoyable. The other thing was riding in the forest like that at this time of year where there's no like greenery.
Yeah.
It was a completely different experience. Everything's like wide open, and it was like really neat. We saw a lot of wildlife. I was hoping to see a bear out there, but I don't know if they're out of hibernation yet. But we did see some porcupines, which was kind of cool. Like I've never seen a porcupine in Ohio. I've seen them up in Alaska and stuff. But we saw a couple of porcupines, lots and lots of deer, lots of turkeys. We saw partridges. I don't know the last time I saw like a wild partridge.
Were they in a pear tree?
Yeah.
No. But
Wrong time of the year, John. Yeah.
they get them off this time of year. Their busy season's behind them.
Yes,
So.
exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, it was, and some of the riding, we were like riding beside these streams, but we all commented like, this doesn't even feel like the Midwest. It feels like Colorado or Wyoming or something.
Was there any like, I remember when I was researching some of the BDRs, was there any like kind of shady spots that you're like, are we on somebody's land or is it pretty much all public access?
This one, I've run into that before, and I've actually had people come out and like shake their fist at me, like,
Yeah.
"Well, you're going the wrong way," because someone plotted it incorrectly. But no, this one was mostly Forest Service roads. I'm going to say let's just say 600 miles, just for round numbers. I'm going to say 550 or more was dirt roads, and there was a little bit of pavement, but it was all good pavement, like curvy 2-lane stuff.
What about gnarly gravel and stuff? Any like downhill gnarly?
Yeah, there was a couple times where the gravel was freshly laid, because a lot of these roads, they had signs that said no winter maintenance. So it either hadn't been touched since the winter thaw, or it had just been freshly laid gravel. And there was a couple like times we came upon trucks that were dumping gravel or rollers that were rolling stuff out. But
I remember we used to go hunting in that part of Pennsylvania, and we'd just drive for hours in the pickup truck on dirt roads, switchbacks, all the way up to the top of a hill. Like just drive and drive and drive.
yeah,
Fire
you're riding
roads.
in these valleys along the stream, and then you, like you said, switchbacks, and you're not, next thing you're riding on the ridge, and then you're looking down over like the Susquehanna River, and every once in a while they'd put you through a town. And
Pete shaved his beard off. The next comment.
Oh, really?
Tragic.
said what?
Tragic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I didn't want to be fucking with it on the BDRX, okay?
Okay, right.
No.
Tactical.
I just,
You got better gas mileage, man.
probably,
You were getting split ends.
yeah.
There you go.
It would have kept my neck warmer, I can tell you that, when we were out there in the woods. But
Yeah.
anyhow,
Yeah, I don't know how you prepare for riding in 26 degrees.
well, I'll tell you, I had a new jacket, I had new pants, I had a heated bib, I had a neck collar to keep the wind from going there, and one thing I regret not bringing was like a thin head sock, like a spray sock or something. My ears got cold a little bit because the wind was kind of going up under my helmet. My hands got cold a couple times, even though I had heated grips, but not to the point that I felt like, man, this is dangerous or anything, just a little uncomfortable. I did have the hippo hands on the bar, so my hands were inside muffs and then on the heated grips with like a winter insulated
They make
glove.
such a difference.
Yeah.
They're like little ovens when you get the hippo hands with the heated grips going. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's definitely a good setup. Yeah, it's what was, as far as your setup clothing wise, any water? I mean, you didn't get any rain. So
we
you're
didn't
pretty
get
good
any
on
rain,
that.
no. All right,
Yeah.
correct. It was misty the one day, where just like a damp, kind of misty fog, I guess you'd call it, but no water infiltration whatsoever. I'm wearing the Moscow Moto jacket now, the Boundary they call it. And then I bought a brand new pair of Aerostitch Darien pants at Christmas time. Yeah, I've been wearing those Darien pants for a number of years, but this is the first time I bought a custom made set, exactly my size, you know. And yeah, stayed warm, stayed dry.
How'd they feel? They cup your package good?
They did, yes. Yeah.
All the positive responses.
Yeah. I wore a merino wool shirt with the heated vest over that, and then a fleece vest over the heated vest, and then
Look at all these sponsorship opportunities.
I'm telling you, man.
This guy right here, he's just
Dude,
come on.
I've had zero disappointments with any Moscow gear I've ever bought. I've had zero disappointments with any Aerostitch gear I've bought. So
Good to know.
CD boots, different story.
Yeah.
Well, I was wearing a brand new pair of CD boots, which held up well, but I've had some bad experience in the past. But yeah, I could talk about some boot stuff, but that'll be a subject for another day.
Good to know.
I think I've got 6 pair of boots at home right now on my shelf, and I have my favorites, and I have the ones that I use. You know, if I know it's not going to rain, I have a pair of boots I wear. If I'm expecting cold weather or wet weather, I have different boots for whatever, and touring versus off-road, heavy duty versus not heavy duty.
I got the same thing, and you know what's funny? Like I lust after a set of like high end, like the Alpina Star Super X6 X, right? And I got them, and they're the most uncomfortable fucking. You can't break them in. You're like, I can maybe go like a 2 track sessions
Johnny
before my
boy.
feet hurt. But then like you get like like an actual like when you get to the racer guys, and they're like, no, try the RST boots. They're cheap and they feel great. They're made for American feet, and it's like. A lot of times those are so much better. The protection's there, everything's there, but it's like as long you got to look around though. And like if there's real dudes riding and they're racing in the boots, then they're probably going to be a pretty decent boot. And so all the younger kids and idiots like me that see this stuff and are like, I need the Alpina Stars. You see them there, but all the dudes that have been there forever have these other boots. And so you finally learn, you try one of those on, and you're like, yeah, I get it. All right, I learned my lesson.
I've had, you say buy once, cry once. Right, you buy something good quality. I had a pair of, and I don't know how we pronounce it, Guerna, right?
Yeah.
I had a pair of Guerna oiled brown leather boots.
I know, yeah, that's what I think Ryan was wearing.
And they're trials, right? So the reason I opted for, not a motocross boot. A motocross boot is like you've suffered a leg injury and you can't walk now.
It's a walking cast, right?
It's walking cast built right in, right? So you get the trials boots, you get a lot more flexibility out of the trials boots. And I was able to luck into a pair of these Guerna boots years ago. And I'm not joking when I tell you I wore them for 20 years. And 20 years of riding before all the glue on the bottom of the soles let go. And they completely delaminated. Yeah. But the rest of the boot held up. And it was like, and I kept, I put fluid film into them to keep them supple, right? So I put lanolin to keep them fresh. And driest boots I've ever owned. I never got any water in them ever, despite literally walking in 12 inches of water. And extremely happy with them. And then I got a pair of Alpine Stars after them, and I got the adventure boot, like the specific adventure boot thing. And they still haven't broken in yet. And I've worn them 20 times, and they're refusing to break in. And then I had the set of Malcolm Smith.
I remember that.
And they fucking fell apart in less than 3 rides. Yeah. So super unhappy. Like, you can get winners and you can get losers. And the difference between the Malcolm Smith boot and the Guerna was about $100, going from a 269 boot to a 369 boot. And I would buy I'm actively eyeballing the Guernas again, because never have I had such a good pair of boots.
I've never owned a pair, but I've heard great things about those boots.
Yeah, so and there's a deal right now on Revzilla. They're doing some of the Guernas are 50% off.
Nice.
So a product that you carry that I love, the bike spirits.
Yes.
Like that polishing spray?
Yeah, the spray.
So a couple of years ago, a dude told me that's all he ever puts on his leather jackets. And I started put on my racing leathers, my leather jackets, and I started doing my boots.
Interesting.
And that shit keeps your boots soft and yet waterproof. And I
had no idea.
Yeah. Like whatever it is, it's basically like a leather polish or whatever. It works on everything.
Oh.
And I mean, it is It's a game changer.
And it's the bike spirits that they use for the detailing.
The pink and black.
Yeah, the pink and black bond.
can.
Oh.
Stuff's awesome, dude.
I had no idea.
Not only will it make your bike look ridiculously perfect,
Yeah,
and also your
it does.
windscreens and stuff. If you clean them and use the bike spirit stuff, it's amazing. But it's great on leather, dude. Leather shoes, leather
I had
things,
no
everything.
idea.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
That's
Leather
fantastic.
thong.
If you have a leather thong, I'm sure it would help you out. A little bit. Little sliding action for you.
There you go.
So, Sleepy, go ahead and throw this picture up.
Yes, sir.
Talking about gear. Wear your gear. This wasn't so. There's some red paint spilled on the top of the headset. What we've got going on here is about a 1974 Vespa Sprint or Rally. Can't tell, but there's a Rally stripe on it. But that also could have been on the Sprint. In any case, these are wonderful bikes that are lovingly sought after in the Vespa community, the vintage Vespa community. And this bike is fucked. There's no better way to put it. Even the floorboards are bent in the middle of the frame. I think this is a Rally 200 looking at the seat. This is our friend Ken Kulinowski from Chicago. He's been working at Scooter Works. He's a great guy. I mean, a fantastically good guy. One of our podcast people. He's in the hospital right now. He just got done with hip surgery. So he busted his hips. He busted his jaw. You see all the blood on the top of the headset and the leg shields? Yeah, that's the sign that he wasn't wearing a helmet. So this was one of those, I'm just going to take it around the block, quick test rides that had a close encounter with a car. And just look at how bad that bike is fucked. Obviously, the fork is just completely screwed. The frame is literally bent in half. This is the tragedy that we're talking about. I know spring is here. Put on your gear.
Well, and I want to interject here too.
Yeah.
When we were just talking about being at the hotel and taking an Uber to get something to eat, it's like, it's tempting to just like hop on the bike. Like I'm going a mile down the street,
Right.
but it's the just around the block deal. I'd rather just take the Uber.
Yeah, this particular situation, this was probably going out to be test ridden after service kind of thing. And just absolutely tragic. The guy's going to be in a lot of pain for a long time. Much love out to you, Ken. Absolutely feel for what you're going through right now. Nobody wants to be all busted up. So yeah, if you need anything, let us know. And this is right here. This is why you wear gear. This is the deal. Because yeah, knees, legs, hips, face, the whole thing. Absolutely tragic. Please, please, please put on your gear. And I know y'all have cool gear because we buy cool gear. We keep spending money on cool gear. You just got to remember to put it on, So yeah, this morning I had that vibe where I was like, it's beautiful out. I'm just going to, put on the shorty helmet or something. No, full face. Yeah. Yeah. That's that real quickie reminder for that kind of shit. So big time. We all want our friends to hang around with us for a very, very long time. And we also want them to keep riding and doing cool shit. I am going to do a much better job this year. My wife said, there's one thing I want you to do this year is I want you to always be wearing a helmet. And that is not a statement that I can make that I say, like, you guys know, there's a great many times you will see me with no helmet on, especially if I'm riding something of the Harley persuasion.
Well, this is weird.
Yeah.
When I get on any road bike and I'm on a road, I feel naked without gear.
Right.
I feel I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'll ride like a fucking maniac with gear, but and I know it's whatever.
Yeah,
but
I get
the
it,
gear
yeah.
thing. But
Yeah, I'm
you
guilty
put
of
me
it.
on grass,
Right.
And for some reason, all that goes out the window.
Oh.
I'll be at band cap going
Yeah.
70 around turns for 14 hours.
Yeah, Bandcamp rules, Mid Ohio rules, the whole
Yeah.
thing. You're like,
Yeah.
put your life in your hands, and you're like literally 16 wobbly pops, and 9 p.m. drunk at 2 p.m. And I'm like, okay, this is great. I got a Buddy 125 and flip flops.
Yeah.
This will be great.
I'll do the Mexicana.
Yeah, I'm in. Right, that's it.
I mean, that's the one
Can
time
I finish
went-
my drink first?
That's the one time I went down.
Right, that's exactly
Tom
right.
paid the price.
Tom did pay the price. Yeah, Tom paid. Yeah, Tom definitely did not get a return on his investment for that one. Oh boy,
Redness
that was
bad.
terrible. Yeah, that is so bad. Yeah. So anyway, just wanted to make sure people were aware of that because that's a thing that exists in the world. Be careful out there. It's easy to get spring fever. It's easy to get bug fever and be like, yeah, this is it. We're going. We're going to go out there and crush it. It's going to be awesome. Just Just play nice. Be good. Yeah, that's what we're saying about that. Did anybody get the show notes today?
Yes,
Take
sir.
a look at our cool stuff.
I think they woke me up from my nap.
They did.
Just like that car outside my hotel.
John found a very cool list of the most reliable motorcycles. And that's something I haven't thought about recently, about like how reliable, which bikes are truly reliable. And as though being cued today during our big, bright, beautiful sunshine, two dudes showed up in my shop. One guy in a Triumph Tiger. The other guy showed up on a Harley Road King with just, so much money thrown at it. It was ridiculous. It was just an exercise in orange.
I don't think that bike was on the list.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. But here's the interesting thing they came in looking for. They came in the shop specifically looking for a Honda CB1100. The modern, 2013 or newer CB1100. And they came in straight up saying, this is what we're looking for. This is the bike that I want to buy. This is the bike that he wants to buy. Pretty cool that was a bike that's on the list. And I think that in a very Honda fashion, we all ridden that bike and we all pronounced it as exciting as cottage cheese, right?
Right.
That nobody was going to die of thrills on that bike, right? But apparently, yeah, it is overbuilt. It is understressed.
Right.
It will probably last forever. I don't think there's any chance it's ever going to break.
I think the surprising bike on that list is like the exact opposite of that bike was the Hayabusa.
Yes.
Where they're saying a Hayabusa will go 80,000 miles and, it's overbuilt and stressed.
But you're looking for the one that was owned by the 56-year-old guy that's getting rid of it now because he's 70.
Yeah, I mean,
And we have a few of those running around Cleveland.
If they were used as a drag bike or something like that, but they will run for a long time because you can't even use all the Hayabusa most of the time.
I mean, dude, think about even the oil-cooled 750, 1100 motors from the late 90s. They're still using those in midget cars and all kinds. Those motors are unkillable.
Yeah. It's really, really interesting when you start to think about that, because I've got a dude running around the shop all the time. He comes in for a tire every now and then. He's got a poverty spec all white Hayabusa from like 5 years ago when they were just like, yeah, you made us build a Hayabusa, so we built it. And it comes in your choice of white with black trim or black with white trim kind of thing. It was just Suzuki phoning it in.
Oh, I thought you meant, I was thinking more like, remember when every Hayabusa would get the one seat with the flames in it? So it was like a recessed red flame.
Absolutely.
Under the black.
No, this
you
is
couldn't
just,
find a used bike without that fucking seat on it.
This
for a
is
long
just the
time.
Hayabusa that they sold about 10 years ago, where they were like, well, I guess we have to make a Hayabusa.
Yeah.
And it has a preponderance of cheap finishes. So they were like, okay, it's just going to have, the very basic. They're in a down market. They did. They said, how much money can we save and sell a bike that we've been selling for 10 years already, continue to sell it. And this guy shows up. How do you know this bike is cherry? Because it's the only Hayabusa I've ever seen in my life with a factory exhaust on it.
Wow. Okay.
It has factory Suzuki exhausts on it. He's got about 25,000 miles on it, and he does not own anything except for a shorty helmet.
Now, in all fairness, that was a list of Japanese.
Sure.
But that kind of speaks for itself, though, because the Japanese bikes are generally pretty reliable.
Yes.
Not to discount BMW being
Correct.
pretty reliable and stuff
Right.
like that.
I was going to say, yeah, I can think of one BMW that I would put on the list. Well, there's more than one, but
do tell.
the K bikes, the early K bikes,
Oh, yeah.
the K75 or the K100.
Well, the only
Those are
bike I've
kinda
ever seen with
legendary.
500,000 miles was a K100 LT.
Yep.
And it had been wrecked so many times that it was all held together with stitched zip ties.
Really?
But those bikes,
Oh, yeah.
that engine will go a million miles.
Oh, yeah.
The flying brick motors. Those
Yeah,
are,
the flying brick, it seems to be heralded among every BMW guy I've ever met as being like, oh, they'll never die. It'll just never, ever die.
There were some notable bikes that weren't on that list,
Right.
like a DR650 or a KLR or some 650, but that's just where they were with that list.
Yeah, and
Donuka-san.
I would call those
Suzuki-san?
bikes like stone solid reliable, but I don't know if I would think them as like cockroaches that don't die.
Right. And that's the other thing too, is I totally dig that when you meet a K-bike enthusiast, you're gonna get held hostage for a while.
Yeah.
Right? Especially if you bring up like, hey, nice brick. How long have you had it? Done. Forget
if you
it.
know
Cancel
anything,
your plans.
If you asked one right question, you're not leaving for a long time.
It's better to just be like, that's a weird looking motorcycle. I don't like it, and walk away.
Yeah, my R90's got like 300,000 miles on it.
Yeah, you don't want to get into like a one-upmanship competition on mileage with a K-bike owner.
No, but as soon as you say you have a BMW, fucking spidey senses are going crazy. All of a
know.
sudden, it's like...
No, it's better to just say that's a weird bike.
Yeah.
That's a
Fucking
weird bike. I
save
don't
some
like
for
it.
the rest of us, Chris.
These are the last 17 of them here.
You were going to shit yourself sideways.
Why don't you show our audience what you loaded up there on your plate, sir?
With Smith Cam. Don't
Don't dump it. Don't
God,
dump
man.
it.
Believe me, I'm not dumping.
He'll still eat it off the floor.
So let me tell you another bike that I didn't see on there.
Yeah.
The Concourse 1000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Or the
You know,
Janus.
well,
Japanese bikes.
that Concourse, I'm going to tell you, that runs like a fucking Hebrew slave.
Yeah.
And,
I don't get that reference.
It's okay.
But
Yeah, the concourses are legendary. The first one that I had, the blue one that I had, it showed up with 92,000 miles on it.
Nice.
it ran like a fucking top.
Completely reliable. Rode
Yeah.
that bike back and forth from Avon Lake to Mentor a bunch of times because I didn't want to put miles on anything else. And
And
just
smooth as shit.
Yeah.
And just throttle to beat the band.
nothing wrong with that motorcycle.
I remember riding that unit out to Pennsylvania, and I was on I-80 behind a Harley, and he kept trying to race me. He's trying to get out ahead of me. I
Yeah.
just hung right in behind him.
Yeah.
You know, cranked up.
Yeah.
Got right behind him.
It needs nothing of you.
Did you get up right behind him there?
Right behind him.
Yeah, right behind him.
I did.
Yeah, all the way through
slipstream it right
Pennsylvania.
I did.
Sonny,
Yeah.
come on over.
Now,
Come on over here, Sonny.
What shocked me about the list was the VMAX.
Yeah.
Because, again, in my personal history, I've known two types of VMAX owners. Guys that talk about the VMAX they used to have that they crashed, and broken VMAX owners. Like
second
Bruce,
gear.
second gear, right?
They said the 1700, so maybe that's a difference than the 1200.
Which, again, is the Vaquero that Chris Smith was talking
I
about.
love it.
You know, so 1700 cc's is a lot of cc's
In a V4.
in a V4.
But let me ask
the
you this,
Vaquero's
though.
two-cylinder.
Do you
honestly.
think
Yeah.
it was more the people who bought the VMAX that trashed the second gear? Like,
Yes.
Because think
Completely.
about it, they're probably dragging, trying to do wheelie, whatever. It was a muscle bike.
Right.
So
Yeah.
second gear is going to be the gear to take all the abuse from everything.
200 horsepower,
Right.
stock. Just stock.
Yeah.
Just open the box. There's 200 horsepower there. You know, 131 mile an hour top speed because it is anti-aerodynamic.
Right.
Because it generates its own lift. Right. Because as soon as they put the human being on this vehicle, you are a wing. You're a lifting body. Right. And you've ridden motorcycles like this before, where there's no way that you can possibly be on the motorcycle that you don't feel like
You're a parachute.
you're a parachute.
You're a human
Right.
parachute.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And so, yeah, speed limited to 131 because of the completely going boldly into the land of no aerodynamics. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Crazy motorcycle to be on the top 10 list of most reliable, motorcycles, right? Just outrageous. Just a crazy, kooky bike, a V4.
I mean, you can pick so many Japanese bikes that are super reliable. I ran into a guy who had an old Hurricane 1000. He's like, "Yep, 80,000 miles on this bad boy, still having fun with it."
Yeah, that's.
And this is my
absolutely
second
true.
one. My first one, I got rid of it when it went over 100,000.
The usual suspects on the list: Honda Goldwing GL, right? GL 1800. No shit. Yeah, it's supposed to.
Not surprising.
Yeah, congratulations. You bought a Honda Accord, or one half of a Honda Accord. You go out and drive it forever. You're going to have a blast. It's going to last for goddamn ever.
There's a common denominator between a lot of these bikes,
Yeah.
and it's that they are a low stress bike.
Yeah,
You know what
Honda
I mean?
tends to build that.
Yeah.
You have your choice of excitement or longevity. Well, we wouldn't want to get any excitement on us.
No, like Aprilia.
So,
Aprilia
yeah.
will make you squirt in your pants, but
Right.
you're going to be fixing shit.
Yeah, and Aprilias have become quite the reliable bike. They've become a much better bike than they were 10 years ago.
But you're not unconsciously riding it. You know what
My
I'm saying?
78-year-old neighbor across the street who's had a ZX10 parked in his garage for about the past 10 years, who I've to date never seen a helmet on him, right?
Right.
And he goes out and he says he puts 1,000 miles on his bike every year, and I think he's lying. But he said he caught me in the driveway yesterday, and he said he wants to buy a Tuono.
Wow.
So he wants to get an RSV Tuono.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, that's a healthy dollop of grunt. And he's had 9 or 10 motorcycles that he's done a lot of performance tuning to. This is the guy with the 750 horsepower Corvette that, again, probably 1,000 miles a year, right? Mm-hmm. But when he asked if I could get him a special deal, a bro deal on a Tuono, I was like, no, I can't get you a bro deal on a Tuono. I'm not an Aprilia dealer.
Right.
And he says, but that's the bike I want to own. He's figured it out. That's what he wants. And he did tell me that the dealer offered him $4,000 for trade on his ZX10. And I said, no. You sell that to me. Whatever the dealer's offering you on trade, I'll give you $500 more, because that bike has never seen a molecule of dirt.
What color is it?
Burgundy. It's the very adult ZX.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the very, very. I'm a man of certain means.
So it's not a ZX10R.
Not an R.
Okay.
No.
Well, while we're talking about the Kawasaki's, they also had the Z6, the Z650,
and the Z9,
and the Z900.
So both of their fun standard bikes both got the reliability factor, which is fucking awesome.
Not surprising. I mean, I don't think I could kill my Versys motor.
No,
I mean,
I'm pretty sure you can.
And I kind of missed my fucking Z900. It's kind of sad, but
That
I
really
like
fucked that up.
No, I like the BMW more. I do. Yeah.
So was the CX500 on the list?
So it was
Dan
not.
slipping one in over
The
here.
CB500F was on the list,
Yeah.
but not the CX500 on the list.
CB750s.
The CB. At first, I thought this list was skewing to the bikes of the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And then they put this fucking ringer in there of including a 60-year-old bike.
Yep.
Right? So I was like, okay, where are you going with this, guys? Because they did throw a CB750 in there. And I will tell you, CB750s do last a long time.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. They were engineered to last pretty well goddamn forever. There's no doubt that bike in the hands of anybody is going to last a long time.
They also talked about the Nighthawk 750s and
Yeah.
stuff. And I'm like, well, that's not really the same thing, but
Definitely not.
then the Nighthawks are probably, I mean, any of the bikes that have the hydraulic lift, bucket lifter things or whatever, no valve adjustment. So yeah, you can ride it for 80,000 miles, just oil, gas, and minimal maintenance.
Yeah, Marshall's like, I'll sell him my Tuono. Yeah, I mean, Marshall, the bad news I have for you is this guy, everything he buys has to be meticulously clean. And it has to be whatever
just
bike.
insulted Marshall.
Wait, whatever bike so I've watched this happen 4 times. Harley dealer comes to the house with a truck and a trailer and drops off a brand new Harley Davidson for my neighbor across the street. Tim goes out, looks at the bike, says, nope. They load it back on the trailer and they take it away. And I'm like, what was the problem? He goes, it was filthy. It came out of an enclosed trailer. And I looked at it, and it wasn't filthy. But there were certain, wax from where they mounted, like lube from where they mounted the tires onto the wheels, right? It's things like that will happen during the assembly process. And he was like, yeah, they can't deliver that bike out to me. And did you notice that? There was a haze in the clear coat. So clearly somebody wiped it down with a dry rag. So I want a new gas tank, He's that guy.
That listener is like, you sure it wasn't the ZZR 1100?
Yeah, it could be as easy. Look,
what you're
let me
describing
tell you what
is
I
the
know about
before
this
ZX10.
motorcycle. It's an old man leader class Kawasaki.
Okay, so that's not the ZX10 because I was getting. I thought you were talking about ZX10. I was like, well, I mean, if anything, I try.
Yeah, right. Whatever the give or take 100 cc's either way of 1,000.
Yeah.
was their big, fully fared.
Yeah, okay.
Sport touring, but leaning more towards the sport.
Roger, gotcha.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and
I think our listener caught that too.
and probably like a 2018. Yeah,
Okay.
right. Yeah.
The problem with any of those bikes on the list is as soon as they're carbureted, then that's going to be the weak link. Like the
Well, yeah, where's the list from? Because other countries probably don't have the problem that we have with ethanol.
I mean, if you're talking the CB 1100, well, yeah, that's fuel injected. That can sit, that can do whatever. It'll be running.
Absolutely.
But the Hayabusa still has carburetors, right?
It's fuel injected at some point.
At some point, yeah. So if you get a later model fuel injected one, you can bypass that problem.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that list is fantastic for being Japanese motorcycles. There's the surprise on there is that VMAX and absolutely the Hayabusa. Completely, totally surprising. And I've kind of always said, well, when the right Hayabusa materializes itself in front of our shop, looking to be traded in for pennies on the dollar, I might find myself on a Hayabusa for 6 months or something, just to see what happens.
So
curious.
Let me ask you this. As probably the most qualified at the table to answer this question, so to make Tom have a good night, what do you think the best Harley motor is? Like, what's the most reliable Harley motor in your opinion?
Yeah, I still think it's the 103. I think that the 2013s, 2014s, the 103 cubic inch the Milwaukee 8 has been having problems. I feel like they don't have that motor entirely sorted out yet. There's a lot of plastic in the motor that people are having problems with. And we all know the 88 and the 96. The 88 had a lot of problems, timing cam chain tensioner stuff. The 96 did sort out a lot of that stuff. But I think the 103 is the butter zone where it was just well sorted. And I know a lot of people that have 70, 80, 90,000 miles on a 103. Also, the police departments loved that motor. They could beat the shit out of it, and they didn't have to do anything to it.
Is that what's in your?
That's the one that I have in my bike. And I've had other Harleys that have had that 103 in it, and it's always been a really stout motor. And I had a guy bring a bike into the shop with 60,000 miles on it, and he was like, "Yeah, I need to have like a lot of things done to it." And I was like, "You know what? You need to go to a Harley dealer." And I did. I sent him to a Harley dealer. Because I was like, you're at that point where all the things in this motorcycle, the bike is 13 years old. It's got 60,000 miles on it. I'm going to venture to say, I don't want to be the guy who does a 3-hole oil change on your bike, puts 2 tires on it, and then something catastrophic happens a week after it left my shop.
Right.
I'd feel a lot better if you went to a shop that had a sign that said Harley Davidson on front of it. I just would feel better. I think you'd have a better experience overall. So
No. I'll have a better experience.
Tom will have a much better experience overall too. That's exactly right.
Oh, 60,000 mile Harley? What is that, piston slapping?
You know what? We should sponsor this as the Harley Hate Cam. So
the Harley Hate Cam. I honestly don't think there's a chance. Out of the 103, I don't think you would have piston slap at 60,000 miles. I honestly don't.
Yeah.
Because police departments were routinely putting 80 and 100,000 miles on those bikes and before turn-in. So that's one of those motors that I think Harley did get that one very much right. That's I think that's one of the.
Does anybody else have a bike that they would like to add that they think would be, we already added a bunch of them.
I've said my piece.
Yeah.
What about you, Dan? You're quiet down there. You got a bike you'd put on there?
I mean,
I already mentioned the CX500.
Yeah.
CX500.
I got
I'm
one.
kind of surprised the DR650 is not on this list.
Yeah, that's what it's not.
I kind of want to know what the guy's deal was. I was digging through it, trying to figure out what his research was.
I was just happy to find what seemed to be a real article that wasn't AI produced.
Yeah, and the XJR 1300 they've got on here, which is air-cooled bike. That's,
But I didn't see the Super Tenere 1200,
right?
Which around the world, Paul put like a million plus miles on, and
there's no FJR 13 on here.
Wendy lives on an FJ, so
Right.
I mean,
yeah. So
do you think you could kill a VFR 1200?
Yeah.
They're delicate.
There's fragility hiding in there. Yeah, I've read enough because there was a minute where I was like, you know what, that one I got was 0 miles. It was a perfect bike, and I was like, this could be the rest of my lifetime VFR 1200. And then I started hearing about people having problems with them, and I just know that there's demons inside that motor.
Well, the VFR 800 had an excellent reputation,
great reputation
for reliability.
Yeah. So
and performance and excitement.
And the V-Strom 650 being on there
oh yeah,
makes perfect sense too, because the the V-Strom 650 just always has been a bike that
I've seen exactly one blow up. And the reason it blew up is because the magnets on the stator became unglued at about 60,000 miles.
okay, that'll do it.
And imploded inside of the motor and stuffed up the oil pump.
Scott Dennis argues, as Harley Motors, the Evo.
He's not
Sportster.
wrong.
Okay.
He's not wrong, and I wasn't even thinking about Sportster motors. I wasn't even acknowledging 883 and 1200. But he's not wrong.
Yeah.
That fucking motor, the Evo Sportster motors, even dumb people can keep those bikes going forever, right? They do. And you find a lot of dumb people that are attached to those bikes.
Yeah.
And through sheer stupidity alone and great engineering on the part of Harley Davidson, they outlast 90% of their fucking owners.
Well, the more I learn about it, like when Steve Noble comes over and we're going and we're working on the Harley.
Yeah.
You know, I'm expecting it's a Japanese bike, so I'm getting like notes out to take on the wiring harness. And he's like, no, that wire goes there, and that's it. Once that's out, that's out. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty easy.
Oh, there's a shocking level of simplicity.
Oh yeah, I
these
had
bikes.
somebody once, a Harley guy one time, tell me you can run a Harley on 2 wires, the entire bike. As long as you get points, you're good to go.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was like, wow, that's something.
Yeah, undoubtedly, I think the Evo 883 1200 is
Here's another
absolutely a really good motor.
From the chat that should be on the list. SV 650.
Well, again,
I think
it gets a pass for the V-Strom.
Yeah, so all
Right.
those that
Right.
Suzuki
That SV motor.
Yeah, I think that gets a pass for the V-Strom. I think the V-Strom automatically includes, just like saying the Kawasaki 650 includes the Vulcan 650 and the Versys. You know, they're throwing that out there as just the Ninja platform. But yeah, well, that's really, really interesting. Yeah, super cool. I think that covered a lot of really reliable motorcycles here. It's pretty badass.
Well, what's the other side of that coin? What's, in your opinion, one of the most unreliable motorcycles you've ever owned?
Man,
The Will Stoner bike.
that's just a 1970 Triumph. So that's just being a Triumph.
Anything old in English.
That's old in English is always a good sign for me.
You know,
Honestly, does it say BSA on the side? Right? Does it say Norton on the side?
The only thing worse would be a Royal Enfield.
I was going to say even older English would be
Older English, even still.
A copy of an English
Well,
bike.
you know that
once removed.
the pre-UCE engines, so all those pre-2009 Royal Enfields that still had the separate motor and transmission,
Oh, God.
iron barrels and stuff like that, and the first aluminums that came out, those things were tragic. They were never. Bob Hedstrom in Scooterville in Minneapolis has this statement: "They're never dead, but they're always sick." Like,
That's a good way of putting it.
I think
that's what's keeping the third world going, right?
Right. That's exactly right. You put that bike in the right environment with enough 14-year-olds around that are aces at working on it for one reason, and they will survive. They will last. They will live. But man, in our time that we were an Enfield dealer, we saw the sketchiest shit coming through the shop. And we're talking about, like, they put a bolt where there wasn't a hole. And it survived for like 1,800 miles with another piece of metal hitting it at RPMs.
Wow.
Right? And you're like, it didn't die. But it also, there was 2 pieces of metal floating around inside that motor that were the size of 45 caliber bullets. Right? That it just said, all right, clack, 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 clack. And it, like, the inside of it looked like hammerite because those 2 pieces of metal had just ball peen hammered the entire inside of the engine.
I just imagine, like, I've been seeing a lot of these videos coming from India with kids like building super bikes out of bikes.
Yeah.
So I imagine a kid on one of those, and because of the clacking of the parts, he said dry clutch.
Dry clutch. Yes, instantly. Ducati upgrade. Yeah. That, oh man. That game, that old Royal Enfields, man. Oh God, I know people love them, but and not me.
Johnny Mac, what was your
at
least
all.
favorite bike?
My least favorite bike was the Royal Enfield.
Yeah.
I mean, those things were, no. I don't
John
know.
has more reason than most.
I've spent, definitely that's top on my list. Let me think. Well, you get into the two strokes, like the
That's
old
where I
two
was going.
strokes.
Yep. That's what
And
I was gonna say.
you have that burst of power, but then once the seals and everything starts going bad in them, like then they just start running really weird, and they start sucking air, and like you'll get like, ooh, this time it did light up, and then you let off the throttle and let the seals suck back in, and then you whack it again, and like, whoa, there we go. Like they're just awful, and then I don't know if sometimes I want to own another two-stroke, and then I just I don't want to smell like two-stroke.
Yeah, it's a pretty heavy commitment.
I'm actually the exact opposite. I could smell cloths all day. I want cloths candles.
So next topic.
You're like a crazy ex-girlfriend.
Hang on, Phil. I'm gonna say a word.
Okay, go ahead.
Ready for it?
Yeah.
Are you ready for the hate mail?
Go ahead.
Ural.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
We're overlooking the obvious there.
Sorry,
aren't we?
totally over. I'm sorry. I didn't know we were. I thought we were not talking about yard art. Yeah.
I could start a fight with some of the Honda purists because I've encountered a number of Honda XL 250s and 350s that just were the camshafts were riding in plain journals and didn't get enough oil one time, and they're still running, but they just sound like crap.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't necessarily a great motor.
The CB500 twin, not the GB500, not the CB500 four-cylinder. The CB500 twin had extreme oil starvation problems. There were a lot of mistakes made. And Honda, I think even people at the Honda factory would be like, we tried a thing.
Any
Now,
Honda
a
with
125 motor, like an XL 125 and XL 75, those were pretty good. But when you get into the 250s and the 350s, like they had some problems.
Yeah,
the A designation after any Honda thing.
Sure, well, that's tough anyway to slice it. But again, they built an indestructible transmission, and people figured out how to break it.
Yep.
And they did all the drag strip. When that CB750A came out, they took it to the drag strip, and they were like, "See, it runs our best quarter mile time. See, these drag racers can't kill this thing. Put hundreds and hundreds of quarter mile runs on this thing. Couldn't blow it up. Couldn't make it break. It was fantastic. Put it in the hands of the average North American operator, and somehow managed to find every weak link in that fucking bike."
I got another one for John. CB900C.
Yes, customs. CB900 customs. No fun whatsoever.
Nope.
And again, not necessarily a bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It just, again,
The 80s weren't great
the
for
80s were not good. Early
Honda.
80s were not good for a lot of Honda products. It was bad. So speaking of early 80s Honda products, why can't I put a lithium battery in a great deal of these old motorcycles like Chris's GS450E? Why can't I? Lithium batteries have come a long way. Why
Don't you need a special charger when if
Can't
you're
we
going
do
to
that?
If you're going to have a tool battery, if you're going to have a lithium battery, don't you usually have to have a lithium charger?
So first things we're going to talk about maintenance of the battery. So maintenance of the battery, yes, you are going to, in fact, you're not going to want to have your grandpa's Schumacher charger out from the garage and hook that up to your lithium battery.
As a grandpa.
Right. Well,
If
you have one of those.
extrapolate that to the older non-electronic, you might even have a mechanical regulator or something like that. That might not play well with a lithium battery.
But it gets way fucking worse.
Okay.
And this is where you're going to love this, because we're going to talk about your favorite thing in the world, which is explosions and fire.
Yay.
All right. And probably one of your least favorite things in the world, which would be the Honda Helix scooter.
Fireman.
Firemen suck. Oh man, putting away all of our fire.
Awesome.
So this popped up on a Honda Helix forum, and I snagged the article because it was so well written, and the guy actually really did a great job of writing this. So I didn't expect to see it on a Honda Helix forum, because that's usually octogenarians, right? But this is great. I've seen a lot of people jumping on the Lithium LifePo 4 bandwagon lately. While they work great on modern bikes designed for them, they are a ticking time bomb for old Honda charging systems. Even if you've upgraded to a MOSFET FH020AA regulator.
Wow.
Resistance is the problem. Resistance is futile. So I was so impressed by this guy writing this article, so I thought it'd be fun. So here's the deal. Internal resistance. Lead acid AGM batteries have higher internal resistance. As they charge, they naturally push back against the charging system, which regulates the current flow into the battery.
Some charging systems need that reference voltage.
Bingo!
Yep.
And lithium batteries have extremely low internal resistance. They are hungry, and they will pull every single amp the charging system can possibly provide. So they have what's called the 110% effect. Because the lithium battery has almost no resistance, your charging system, specifically the stator, runs at 110% capacity at all times to try to fill the lithium battery, which the lithium battery is happy to let it do that with no pushback whatsoever. This is the crazy thing that Tom and I have learned in the shop working on bikes that have lithium batteries. When we deplete a lithium battery way down, right, and we plug it in to charge it on the correct type charger for a lithium battery, which means it won't spike out to 15 volts and catch your garage on fire, hopefully, we've learned these lithium batteries bounce back. They take a charge super fast. So a battery that may have taken the customer 2 or 3 weeks to kill on a weak charging system, we can charge that battery back up in about 30 minutes, which is crazy, and charge it right back up to the point where it's shutting off the charger. Okay. So they will take an absurd amount of voltage amperage being thrown at them. They have very little internal resistance, so they bounce back fast. So if you have a dead lithium battery and you need to put some juice in it to make your bike start, it happens fast. It happens really quick. And that is why everybody has these boost packs. If you don't own a boost pack, a Moto boost pack, something with a couple of big alligator angle, cables coming out of it, right? You own the Amazon versions of all of them.
No, I don't.
You don't?
I'll never buy one.
Oh, really?
I don't care for them.
I'm a huge fan.
I know.
Yep.
Everybody else in the world, but I like the old heavy duty
battery
with an air compressor. Right. Give me something that's kind of hard to carry out to your bike or whatever. But
battery.
You're not going to be able to slip it in any. You're not going to be able to take it with you probably. But I prefer just a good old jump box.
Yep.
That's what I.
I used to know what it was, but now it scares me. So
because here's the thing, those packs are great, and every time I've used one, yes, it turned on a car especially. Yep. Sure, it turned the car over. Then it turned the car over again, and then nothing.
And that's the trick. So you get a lot.
You get a lot
fast,
but you don't get.
There's no depth to it.
There's no sustain.
Right. There's no sustain.
Well, it literally says it's going to do it 3 times.
Exactly.
And it's for this convenience of being this big and portable, so anybody can. Because dude, I've had jump boxes before. My wife literally can't pick the thing up. And I'm not dogging her.
I'm not concerned with what your wife can pick up.
Yep.
I can pick up anything.
She's healthy right now.
So
he did literally pick up my wood stove by himself. I couldn't get it through the door. He was like, hold on, and just picked it up. It was like 8,000 pounds. I don't know. It could have been a bus, but he just walked in and put it in there. Impressive.
So here's the thing I wanted to add about this. He makes it a point because on our old motorcycles, if we don't have that resistance, if we're putting out 110% out of the stator, we're going to get shit tons of heat. And somebody said something about magnets disadhering to the stator, right? So we talked about magnets falling out of a V-Strom.
Coming unglued, man.
Yes, coming unglued.
Magnets.
And it turns out a big problem that they're having with people that have lithium batteries in their motorcycles is the stator's running at max output, creating a whole lot of heat, and all the magic smoke is coming out of the stator. So we have here personally seen self-sacrificing voltage regulators where lithium batteries have been installed. We've seen burned up wiring harnesses. We've seen burned up wires at stators where lithium batteries have been installed. And I like where he says, even with a MOSFET regulator, which handles heat better than the old shunt style regulators, the stator wires and stator coils themselves are still the weakest link. They're running at maximum output constantly, eventually burns out the stator or melt the wiring harness at the connectors, which we have also seen. I have seen the wiring. I've seen the actual wiring at the connectors melted, which is unfortunate, which sucks. And it says old bikes were engineered for the buffer that a standard lead acid or AGM battery provides. If you want reliability, stick with a high quality AGM battery. It might be heavier, but it won't cook your stator from the inside out. Very simple.
Very simple.
Very simple.
I agree with that a lot.
Does anyone know what LiFePO4 stands for?
Lithium ion. Oh, fuck.
So
I
we're
knew this
start-
from the hobby industry.
Li,
Yeah.
lithium.
Fe is iron.
Iron.
Fe is
Iron.
and then the PO4.
Phosphate oxygen.
That's right. Bingo. Good
I just
job,
don't understand why
Pete.
you'd want to space so much more money for something that doesn't work well.
And it turns out that
Saves weight.
LiFePO4, the difference
they'll
between
tell you.
that and lithium ion, the older lithium ion batteries, would anyone like to guess what is the most important difference between those two?
Oh, yeah. I know this. No flamey.
Okay, that the original
Lipo battery.
Li-ion batteries,
Or Lion.
Lithium
right?
ion, yeah.
The regional lithium, they are 71 times more energetic once they get too excited than the LiFePO4s are. And also, it's about how much cobalt is in them. So the lithium ions have a lot of rare earth metals in them that are hard to get, expensive to get, and bad for the people who get them.
So,
Whereas the LiFePO4s do not.
how recyclable is a lithium battery?
Essentially, extremely recyclable.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way: not so much recyclable.
So you can just melt them down and
not
make
so
new
much
batteries out of them?
recyclable, but inert in so much as the disposal of them.
yeah.
That's what I
But
was
can you
gonna
just
say.
can you melt them down and make new batteries with them, like you can with a lead acid battery?
No,
So
but
that's another negative.
yeah, but I debate though that your lead acid battery is going to cost far more money to get the lead out of the lead acid battery than the lead inside the lead acid battery is worth, because
Well, I mean, that's why they
Yeah.
give you a core charge.
right, yeah, that's the whole idea.
So they're worth
Yeah.
$13.
Yeah, you're getting big money on a core charge. Rock on.
I just don't think. I just don't think I like lithium ion.
Yeah, I totally get it, and that is a very, very real thing. As far as I'm concerned, that's legit. I totally get it. I have no problem with that.
I bought one last year when I picked up that NX 250 from a name brand.
Right.
I put it in the bike. I bought the same name brand charger to, maintainer.
Right.
Kept it plugged in, and it took a shit right around Christmas time. And
You ruined that bike with that battery.
well, let me finish my story. They did replace the battery.
Shut up, Tommy.
I sent it in. They replaced it, but I did not put it back in the bike.
Great.
I'm not going to use it. Yeah.
Well,
And now here in the stator, cooking the stator thing, I'm glad that I didn't run it in there for any time. I just bought that to get the bike running and whatever.
So I have a picture I want to throw up on the screen.
okay.
Can anybody tell me what the fault was in this particular electrical charging system?
The battery melted.
Wow.
Yeah. Apparently, it was a rather energetic loss of smoke to the point where this particular motorcycle, a 1991 Ducati, all this fella did in his world was to get rid of a YTX 12 battery, which we all know is pretty big and pretty heavy, and went to what the manufacturer recommended was the correct replacement. Made in America, Earth X lithium battery, right? Put that in the bike, and all of the magic smoke came out. And also,
They steal the design from Lucas?
yeah, well, apparently there was a lot of fire involved, so they had to get the bodywork off of his Super Sport in a big hurry too.
Wow.
So it was a pretty.
Well, it's not just that. That's still the tank.
What is an Odyssey battery? What are they?
They're AGMs.
Oh, they're just a really
just
good
really
AGM.
nice AGMs.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really nice AGMs.
I have an Odyssey in one of my BMWs, and then I just put a what are the yellow ones? Motobat. I put a Motobat.
And we're going to talk about that in 1 second.
Offord's had one of those Odysseys kicking around
Yeah.
the shop. It's like been dead like 20,000 different times.
Does not seem to
charge it right back up. It's still it's great.
Oh, it's
They're
if you
incredibly
go on
well
ADV
isolated.
Rider, every BMW guy swears by them.
Motobats, I've had Motobats that are over 12 years old too, that have just 100% come back. Shows up on a bike and I know it hasn't been charged for 2 years, and put it on a slow charge and it'll come back. So this situation, I'm going to tell you about, this is firsthand information for this particular guy. This putting a lithium into his 1991 Ducati cost him the following: the regulator rectifier, the ECU, which actually had parts rattling inside of it because they had become unsoldered from the boards, a good section of his wiring harness, extremely bad game. Extremely bad game.
That's the 91. That's down low and to the right.
Low and to the right.
So that is everything. And that's a 2-wire rectifier. It's not even a 3-phase.
Yeah. So that's the story. Be careful, please. This was put the battery in. He thought life was good. 230 miles later, everything went to shit.
So we're saying under no circumstances use a lithium-ion battery.
If you have an old bike,
Under no circumstances.
I will not say that, but what I will definitely say, because I have 2 motorcycles in my whole world that came from Honda with lithium-ion batteries in them.
And if you have a motorcycle that just runs on a lithium battery, avoid that entirely.
Well, you know, what's funny is this battery came with my race bike, and I got rid of it and put something else in.
Right.
But it was only good for like 6 starts, and it was like this fucking big.
Wow.
It's like and I was just trying to look it up, and I can't find it. I think it's like NX or MX or something.
I think size does sort of matter.
But this thing, it feels solid as a rock.
Right.
And it's like maybe a half a pound, if that. It's like this little thing. It's insane.
This is. I'm going to make it as very simple as I can. I'm going to include in the show notes at a later time. They really did an amazing job of tearing down the people at Motobat. Did a very, very good job about comparing a AGM battery versus a LifePo 4 battery. And then just talked about like the difference is going to be like the Motobat is going to cost you a little bit less than a really good quality LifePo 4 battery. But it's going to cost you almost twice what a normal AGM battery costs. A Motobat battery is going to cost you almost twice as much money as a regular AGM battery for your motorcycle.
Not when Uncle Pete is shopping.
When Uncle John's shopping,
secret moves. Huh?
I can get like a YTX 14 for like $40. I mean,
and that's fine. And I took one of those out of a Indian Scout today. So I took a not even 2.5-year-old battery out of an Indian Scout today.
Was it a Wise or was it the?
It was a gold.
Oh, that's the.
It was the Napa Gold. Whatever.
Was it Napa Gold or was it the?
No, that's not a super cheap
one from Walmart.
I think it's the Walmart Gold.
Oh,
okay.
It's the Walmart Gold, whatever that is. I didn't price it out.
Yeah.
X-side.
Yeah, but it's a 14 AH battery, and it was dated 6 of 23, and. So, it's not that old of a battery.
They got 2 years out of it.
They got 2 whole years out of it. And for both of those years, it was on an Optimate battery maintainer. So for 2 years of perfect maintenance, that thing, which was supposed to be throwing 220 amps, was throwing about 70 amps. So that battery did not stand the test of time or for the $139 he paid for.
I don't maintain my batteries at all.
Yeah, and it's Walmart's best battery.
I don't believe in maintaining a battery. I believe in starting your bike every once in a while.
Yeah, well, that's, that works for some people.
Anytime it's a nice day in the middle of winter, I start my bikes up and they're fine.
Yeah, so
I keep mine on an IV drip.
Me too. And you go into my garage and everything that I own is hooked to an Optimate.
Yep, I give my massages halfway through the winter.
100%. And
I do have the advantage though in my garage because I turn the heater on at least once in a while. I and it's not enough that they don't freeze or anything, but at least they're not frozen all winter long.
And that comes down to charging too. So if you do have a lithium battery, make sure that you have the correct fucking charger for your lithium battery, because the old Shirai batteries they're 3-volt cells, and they would charge each cell independently. There's 4 channels in there, 1 channel for each cell.
Grumpy Sewer Guy wants to know if you have any leftover batteries for those Mews, the one that Patrick has.
Oh, the News?
He's trying to resuscitate the battery, and it does the same thing. Yeah. It's like a 60-volt battery, but it charges in 20 volt increments and stuff, and he's having
multiple banks.
He's trying to bring it back to life after Patrick bought it, rode it for a minute, and left it laying in his backyard.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, that's not great.
Yeah.
Laying? That thing was cool, man.
Well,
that's sad.
It was.
And it was a lot of money, too.
How's GSG doing?
He's doing great.
We haven't heard much from him.
He has a grandchild. He's all about Wheezy, and he's been brewing beers. He has 6 different beers. One is Wheezy's Canadian Invasion,
Wow.
Wheezy's Hazy Stout, Wheezy's, Wheezy's Dirty Diaper Lager.
Oh my God.
That's what he's up to today.
Interesting fact, LifePo 4 remains stable up to 518 degrees Fahrenheit. That is kind of incredible.
So talking about all these batteries, I think way back, like 25, whatever years ago, I was just getting into the hobby industry and I was like having fun with it a little bit. And like LiPos were just coming out into it back then, right? So I had been flying this electric Cub with like a 6 or 7 pack, like little normal, like NiCad battery or something.
Like you do.
I'm like, battery, it's a battery, right? It's just a new battery technology. I didn't know shit. I was like, okay. So I brought it home and plugged it into my normal NiCad charger. Plugged it and goes, oh, wow, that's interesting. They get warm when they charge.
They get warm fast.
So I put it in this little fucking airplane. I flew like 1,000,000 times. I throw the thing up and it's starting to fly, but it seems like it doesn't have as much power. I'm like, oh, these batteries kind of suck. All of a sudden it just dies, and then whatever's in it explodes, shoots the plane backwards like 3 feet. It lands and a big white mushroom cloud comes out. I'm like, well,
that was expensive.
This battery sucks.
That was extremely
not knowing that like, you need
expensive.
a completely different charger. You have to treat them completely different. I knew nothing, and it was hilarious now. But holy fuck!
One of our
Throw that one in the
one of our
store.
very intelligent listeners, made a comment here. I think that's Marshall.
It's Marshall, of course.
Yeah, he was saying how annoying that those lithium-ion battery packs were, because if the battery's totally dead, it's like putting your tool battery in a charger. It doesn't sense anything, and therefore it will do nothing.
It will do nothing. It will do nothing. You have to creep up on those. You have to literally.
So you're saying your battery has to be charged before you hook the jump box up to it?
Not just a lithium-ion battery. No. It's if you have a charger that's from this fucking century.
Well, we're talking about the jump packs.
Let's talk about that.
Talk about it.
So if you have a charging device from this century, unless it's the one Dan gave me, circa 1984 or whatever that thing was.
Those are the best.
Right? Those are the best. They do not ask questions before sending the angry pixies down the
We
line.
will ask the questions.
It's so fucking amazing. But every charger that you've bought since the year 2000, when you hook it up, it's not a charger yet.
It makes a smiley face or a frowny face.
It needs to see electricity of a certain voltages before it's going to start putting voltage down the line. So on a lot of things, if your battery's below 9 volts, the charger you just spent a lot of money on is not going to charge your thing. It's just not. And you can say, oh, well, it's just waiting or whatever. And it's not waiting. It will never, it's not even going to send a little baby dose of, like, it's not going to send 12 volts at like 1/10 of an amp down the line to softly bring the battery up to the point where it could be charged. It simply says, if you don't have 9 volts, I'm not going to charge you. Some are set for 9, some are set for 10. I've seen them at different things. But if you run into that situation, then you're going to have to be brave, and you're going to have to hook up some jumper cables to a known good battery, your car, not running. Hook it up to your battery.
Force feed.
Right, and force feed some electricity to it. John's method of charging any battery on the planet by hooking jumper cables to a known good battery is the correct method. Whether you have a 2 amp charger that has a switch with a 2, a 5, and a 10, or a 2, a 10, and a 50, right? Whatever that is, John's system works better because the hooking it with jumper cables to another good battery.
The best battery charger is a battery.
Is another battery because it will only take what it can take.
Yeah.
Right. It's crazy when you say we're going to eliminate all the switches.
John also starts campfires by rubbing sticks together.
Yes.
No, I pour gasoline on them.
Extreme fire.
Gasoline.
So,
Gasoline and fireworks usually.
in other news, as of yesterday, Triumph has announced a very special edition DGR 1200 Cafe Racer Speed Twin. So, very cool bike, very, very distinguished, very DGR-ish. This is the bike, if you want to throw a picture up for the folks at home.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Cool looking bike.
Oh, move your ways.
No, sorry.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah, kind of cool looking.
So they're giving away a Thruxton?
Yeah.
I like.
Right. Anyway, I think we're not allowed to call it a Thruxton, John, because they said it was the death of the Thruxton.
That's a thrustin'.
That's a Thruxton. All right. Thruxton Justin's all over this one. The Speed Twin
Wait.
1200 Sport.
Oh.
Right.
Oh.
It's a cool looking bike, man. I don't have any complaints with that.
Could look better as a scrambler.
But it's DGR.
Dude,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
put a
no,
Dung
that's a good
style
looking bike,
fairing
I'm
on
just
that,
kidding.
or like a,
Oh yeah, that needs a fairing.
Why have you not bought a 3/4 fairing? The Dunstall little,
You get an Engo Viper for $70,
you
man.
need one of those so bad.
Yeah.
No,
you
I-
need like 10 of those.
I have a plan already.
I think I have 3 of them at the
I'm already
shop right
talking
now.
to Phil about something.
Yeah, he's
I got
working on a
plans. I got
program.
plans. man.
Okay, he's doing
I
that.
got all kinds of
He's got a
projects.
plan.
Circles,
going on.
man, circles.
Yeah. So this motorcycle is pretty fucking cool. I think that I got to give him credit. It's a good looking bike.
Yeah.
It's a good looking bike.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm not
all.
mad at it. It's a cool looking bike.
I don't like the wheels.
Okay, so it has cast wheels.
Yeah, spokes would
And-
have made. Yeah, I'd be making the noise.
Yeah, and
Gold
that's what-
rims.
That's
Gold
the,
rims with spokes.
I don't want it, even if it's free.
Yeah. Gold. If it had the gold wheels with spokes, lace
And a
wheels.
lithium battery.
Yes.
Yeah.
My insurance company won't let me park that in the garage if it has a lithium battery.
So I'm going to go ahead and read this out to you because it's the copy, and I want to read the copy. Because you guys know we've been hosting the DGR now for like 15 years, right? What? So Cleveland, Ohio, we've done great, and we're hosting it again this year. When I say we, I'm talking about me. We're hosting it again. Now, it's not going to be starting at Skidmark because Skidmark won't be at Skidmark. So
When's the DGR?
May 17th. Sorry, May 17th. Sunday, May 17th. Sunday, May 17th. So you got a little time to prepare. Yes, I did check, and yes, it is the fucking Revco Cleveland Marathon again this year.
Wonderful.
Son of a bitch.
Fucking people.
I bet you guys could win.
I bet you we will win. They just won't let us on the road at the same time. So we're gonna have to work with that again, as we always do. But this year we'll work with it ahead of time, and we won't trust the city when they say all the people are going to be off the road by 1 p.m., even the fat ones, because when we went out there last
fat
time at
ones are
1:30,
dead out on the road.
they were out there fucking snack attacking it, walking super slow down freaking Clifton Lake Road. And I was like, what are you still doing out there? Your time for the marathon can't be 7 hours, right?
Maybe they're just trying.
No, again, it can, but the point being,
not be.
you're moving slower than the sun. Like you're moving slower than the shadows on the pavement. For fuck's sake, man. So here we are. As registrations open for the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride DGR 2026, Triumph Motorcycles has revealed a unique Gentlefolk Prize motorcycle, a one-off custom speed twin 1200 Cafe Racer DGR edition created exclusively for this year's event. The DGR, taking place worldwide on Sunday, May 17th, brings riders together to raise funds for men's mental health and prostate cancer research. In 2025, 127,000 riders and Sleepy took part across 1,038 rides in 108 countries, raising an incredible $7.6 million for Movember. As the event's official motorcycle partner, Triumph continues its long-standing support for the global charity ride. To mark 15 years of riding dapper, Triumph has crafted this unique Speed Twin 1200 Cafe Racer as the Gentlefolk Prize. Its standout feature is a bespoke Harris tweed seat made from authenticated hand-woven fabric from the outer Hebrides, thank you. A material closely associated with the style of DGR riders. That shows how non-distinguished I am. Around the world. The motorcycle also features a dedicated 15 years of Dapper anniversary graphic and number board, along with a certificate of authentication. A spokesperson from the official Harris Tweed Authority said, "It is exciting to see Harris Tweed used in this way for the creation of the Gentlefolk Prize motorcycle. Just as the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride and Triumph have taken their unique style and quality around the world, our Harris Tweed is hand-woven in the outer Hebrides and recognized and valued around the world, a global symbol of craftsmanship, tradition, and enduring quality. We are proud to contribute to a motorcycle created to help raise money, celebrating global unity and the collective impact of riders everywhere." End copy. So that's what it is. I did not see this fucking tweed seat. I don't think it's pictured. So I did not see the tweed seat. Anyway, doesn't matter. Point is, if you sign up to be on the DGR, you're automatically entered to win this magnificent motorcycle. Yay, great. You don't need to earn any money. You don't need to do anything special. You don't need to contribute up to $90,000. I have had people ask, How much money do we have to donate to ride in the DGR? The answer is, Chris?
Squatoosh.
Exactly. Not one fucking squat. Because the Cleveland ride has never been minimum donation required. Show up. Here are the rules. When you go to the DGR website, you will see a great amount of attention posted to what kind of motorcycle you're allowed to participate on. Ignore all of it, please. If you have a motorcycle, you are qualified for our Cleveland ride. I do ask that the more modern your motorcycle is, and less fancy your motorcycle is, or less Britishy, or less DGR-y, the more DGR-y you are, right? So you're going to compensate now for your motorcycle. So if you're riding a Hayabusa, I expect fucking elbow patches, right? So let's just remember that. If you're riding a 2026 Vespa, then I expect you to be fucking dapper. Like monocle level of dapper.
I mean, I looked like I was going to give a dissertation on archaeological digs last
Exactly. Right. Yes. Right. Yes, Dr. Jones. Exactly. So we are not going to bike shame you ever with our DGR in Cleveland. That is not what we're here for. We're not going to make the fancy we're not going to make new bikes ride at the back, which is something they've recommended. I will not participate in that. The point is, everybody that I know has a shit ton of motorcycles. And whichever one is running on May 17th is going to be what I ride in the DGR. And sometimes John has to follow me to my house so we can change bikes on the way home from the DGR.
You wore that one out.
Because I wore that one out. I was having so much fun that I left the clutch on the DGR.
Or this had brakes two weeks ago.
Yeah, sometimes we don't finish. Because it is early in the year, sometimes we don't finish on the same bike we started on.
Costume changes are more than welcome.
Absolutely. I think we planned it very well. So that's the plan.
Is this going to end up somewhere?
Yeah. So we're probably going to follow the old rule. We're going to, Greg, our mini bike king of Cleveland, is going to carry the torch of Skidmark Garage.
Yes, he is.
Into a new location, but in the flats. So on Columbus Avenue in the flats. This doesn't matter for people who aren't from Cleveland. Nope. But the point is more centrally located downtown in the flats. So he says, if it kills me, he will be open to accept the DGR. And he's been on 10 of the goddamn things, 12 of the things. He knows what to expect.
Oh, no, I'm going tomorrow to do a video with him making the announcement. That's how sure he is about it.
So did he get the spot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So this is all great. We have logos. It has a skull. Mm-hmm. Which I'm instantly against it because the logo has a skull. So, but again, that's just one prison cock you want in your mouth. That's all. So here's the game. He says if it kills him, May 17th, Sunday, he's going to be able to accept our arrival of metric shit ton of motorcycles on Columbus Avenue in the flats. Yeehaw. Couldn't be happier. Register. Yes, you do have to fucking register. It's free. It don't cost nothing. But we need to know you're there. We need to know you're there.
And just lie about your motorcycle. They're not going to check.
Nobody cares.
Well, it asks you for what bike you're going to ride.
And I have put down brand new Moto Guzzi Cafe Racer every year, and yet I've managed to only ride that bike in one DGR.
It's true.
But I don't keep filling in for like what bike I might be riding that day. Right. So yeah, we're not even worried about that. So
Play a weird game. Like everybody has to ride somebody else's bike. So I'm going to make you ride one of my bikes, and then you have to make Phil ride one of your bikes. And then Phil has to make Chris ride one of his bikes.
Just remember, I'll have cameras all over.
I'm going to have Johnny
all my
ride
shit.
one of my bikes.
So you're going to have to be thinking of the camera angles as you ride.
Dan has to get his new Triumph out for it. That beautiful Triumph that you've never ridden, Dan.
No shit.
You son of a bitch.
Holy fuck.
You son of a bitch.
Don't take that shit from him, Dano.
If you throw that gauntlet at him, then I'm going to feel compelled to ride the Will Stoner bike. And I know that's not going to make it. So, yeah.
I'm all for all this.
I'm leading the thing. I need to be on a reliable bike.
This is going to make a good video.
And I'm already riding one of Phil's bikes, so you've already got that covered.
So here's my next question. So we know that we have to register. I've said that enough. Registration is free. We have a limit, and hey guys, we love you. We want you to be there. I want you to understand a couple of little things. If you're not registered and you show up and something tragic happens, We've seen crashes in this event. Okay? We have had close encounters with the pavement in this event. I promise you, you will not be able to sue the DGR if you didn't register.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what I'm saying. Okay? Enough about that shit. Fucking register so we know you're there. And the other thing.
For the record,
Go
though,
ahead.
we're not endorsing suing.
Correct.
No, my point is they've gone, okay, in order to host the DGR, I don't just raise my hand and say I'm going to host it. I got to take a class.
No, I get, yeah.
Okay? And the class tells me what we're supposed to say and what we're not supposed to say. The class also tells me about insurance and things that they have provided for should something tragic happen on their, sponsored by Triumph, event. Okay?
Right.
But if you don't sign up, you're not a part of it. You didn't read the fucking rules. And that's the other thing about signing up, is in order to sign up, guess what you have to do? You have to read the fucking rules. So when people ask me the day of the DGR or a week before the DGR, the questions they ask me, what I know is they didn't read the fucking rules. So I might, if you ask me those questions, I might, the day of the event, say, oh, hey, schmuck, I know you didn't read the rules. And let me check, you're probably not registered, which is why we had 150 people registered last year and 229 people on the ride. And if you've ever tried to block traffic for 229 people, fuck you very much.
Go fuck your head.
Right. So please register. It's better for everyone when you register. That's all we're saying. We want you to have a good time. And we also want the ride to be manageable. So that's fun too. So I'm excited about being in a new spot. And we'll end at Porco the way you always do, because that's always a good spot to wind up. It's a nice, safe place to park the bikes and have a nice, a refreshing cocktail when we pull back in. Super cool. Refleshing, you might have to do a little refleshing.
I'll take that.
You go down, you might want to refresh.
Does anybody have a problem with our theme, our Cleveland theme for this event this year being Mods versus Rockers?
No.
Okay. Just checking. Just throwing it out there.
Just need more scooters, especially vintage scooters.
If I make it Mods versus Rockers,
Maybe we'll get more vintage scooters.
maybe we'll get more scooters.
That's a pretty good idea.
I thought since
we do have a handful of people who show up every year for it.
I felt we were underrepresented last year from the scooter camp.
I don't know. Going through some of the tunnels, I was like, you know what this tunnel needs is more two-strokes.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Now I got to go to the warehouse and get something.
More two-strokes.
Ooh, clutch. Oh, that's not
So
clutch.
I
That's
did
some
think
gas station
I thought
shit.
if we made it Mods versus Rockers, then we might force some scooters out of the garages.
Yeah.
Because I know people last year that were at the event that I know they own scooters, but I know they were riding their motorcycles.
Does Robbie Love have a vintage scooter somewhere?
No.
No, he only has newer scooters.
And that's good.
What about Stefan?
He's got scooters.
Well, yeah, I just put his back together.
P200 and a buddy.
He needs to get his P200 out.
I'm going to have so many mirrors on my buddy.
Yeah, Mods versus Rockers. So I think we're
Seeing
going to...
that Primavera kind of made me want an old scooter again.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what you should do?
I'm feeling
You know what you
scootery.
should do?
No, here we go.
You should put together a sweet small frame and ride it once. I've got about 6 candidates for you in the warehouse.
If I was going to do anything, it would be Renee's bike.
Ride it until you're sick of it. That's right. Yeah, she's got a really nice, the 90 SS replica. So that's cool. So yeah, it's official. We called it Mods versus Rockers 2026, Cleveland, Ohio, 15th annual Distinguished Gentleman's Ride.
The word has to get out because some costumeers are going to want to get
Yeah,
to work.
of course they will.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mods versus Rockers is pretty easy.
That's what I'm saying. That gives the ladies
Mods
all
versus
kinds of
Rockers
fun
is a
stuff.
very easy and very payoff. There's a lot of payoff Mods versus Rockers.
I'm already thinking Sean's going to enjoy this one. I can
Hell
see
yeah,
him going pretty hard on
absolutely.
the mod.
Oh, yes. Hard mod? Hard T?
Hard T.
Hard T, hard mod. Yeah, I think that's fantastic.
I almost forgot about hard T.
You forget about hard T? How could you forget about hard T? That was fucking hilarious. Yeah. If you guys ever hang out with Cleveland Moto in person, we're not going to talk about it on the podcast.
No.
But I'm going to tell you, hard T brought the game.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he fucking brought the game. That was a lot of magic that happened that night.
That was some fucking funny
lot
shit.
of fucking magic.
Smith, let's go in front of the cameras 3 more times.
Well,
That would
John
be better.
John had a request for food, but he
Yeah.
snapped at him. So
Right.
Okay.
All right.
It's my
All
fault.
right.
It's
Okay.
All right.
God damn it. Okay. People, remember.
There's bound to be a podcast where an actual fight breaks out.
Cameras and microphones, right? Okay. Next thing.
Sticks.
Let's clear the
Ninja.
floor.
Remember we were talking last week, a couple of weeks ago, about the recall?
Yes.
About Kawasaki? Ninja ZX 6Rs? And we thought, let's be honest. That's not going to affect any of us, right? Well, Kawasaki has upped the game. Kawasaki has taken their, your bike might have a problem, might want to talk to your dealer. They've now upped that to do not sell, do not ride.
Oh. What do you mean do not sell? Fuck you. If I have a bike, I want to sell it?
No, I mean, at a dealership, it's do not sell.
Oh,
there's a no sell order.
Stop
sale.
So does that mean come pick it up? Like, I'm not allowed to sell this bike. So my floor, you better freeze my flooring, or
Yeah, if I were a dealership and I had 25 of these things on my floor, I would just be shitting gold bricks right now. Wow, that is something. There better be some of those left when I go over there.
I said a couple.
You did well, sir. So it is legit, and it is catastrophic. So they've opened up the window. So the window is now not just this might be 10,000 bikes. Now they're saying they've opened it to 2024.
Yeah.
They are legit saying owners should park bikes immediately.
Oof. What year does this go to?
24 to 26.
Okay.
ZX 6Rs. Okay. But here's the thing. Ninja ZX 6Rs, 40th anniversary. Remember the 40th anniversary edition?
I'm glad
very
mine's
sexy,
21.
very
It
cool,
makes me
right?
very happy. I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
21, cool.
KRT editions, like all the sexy stuff. Over torqued bolts for the crankshaft, number 5 metal bushing can cause severe damage or immediate engine seizure.
Ooh.
Those are words you never want to hear. Immediate engine seizure. Because when the engine stops rotating,
I like a good old-fashioned soft seize.
a soft seize is delightful. Roll the bike off to the side of the road. Think about life and the decisions you've made. Let things cool down. Crank the motor lightly occasionally to keep the moving parts moving and the stuck parts not stuck.
You might have even felt it getting tight and
Yes.
grab the clutch. Before it
Oh, that
happened.
would be the best in the world. And you can address that situation later, looking for the air leaks and figuring out where you fucked up. And checking your dipstick, probably a great place to start. But not this one. No, sir. This is 10,000 RPM, 85 miles an hour, back tire locked. That is a bad day. It's probably also going to take away all your traction package. That's going away.
Well, you remember what we talked about earlier with wearing all the gear.
All the gear.
It becomes important at this
Instantly. This becomes in one hot second, your motor is going to lock up. Your transmission is going to lock up. The back tire is going to lock up. And you're going to become very acquainted with the term low side into a high side. I really do hope that this never happens to anybody. I've had motors lock up at over 80 miles an hour before, and they don't give you a lot of warning. So if
I had one lock up at 40 mile an hour, and I didn't like that one bit.
Dude, fucking awful.
I had the Vespa P125. I had lock up, or no, it was the Stella lock up with my daughter on the back, going down at 45 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck it!" Dude, it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. I went from 80 miles an hour to 40 miles an hour on just nothing but black stripe on the pavement, grabbing as much front brake as I could grab, trying to keep the thing pointed in that forward direction. Got all the way off to the side of the road, and the second I hit anything that wasn't perfect black asphalt, the bike just swapped ends, and I was everywhere. I was just every fucking where. So
You goosed it.
Oh, I goosed it bad. It was bad. But you know what? The high side didn't come in until the very, very end, where I had thought like, okay, this is going pretty well. I'm feeling good about myself. And then the foot peg on the bike grabbed something and just spun.
I was on the CT90. You can't even grab the clutch.
No,
I'm
no.
like, fuck it.
No, there's
All I
no
could
clutch
do
to
was
grab.
Just like,
fucking ride it out.
Okay,
Oh, man.
Come to a screeching halt to the side of the road in the Metro Park.
Oh, fucking tragic. So I love this. Ready? A previous recall attempt failed to fix the issue. causing this second, more severe, do not ride notice to be issued. So if you're listening to this and you go, shut up, old man, I already had my recall done. You did, and you need to again.
It didn't take.
It didn't take.
Turns out we were wrong.
turns out we fucked up. You trusted us, right? But yes, so even though you may have already had this addressed under recall, this is them telling you failed to fix the issue, causing this second, more severe do not ride issue or notice to be issued. Fucking tragic, man. Visit your local Kawasaki dealer to check your VIN or use the NHTSA recall website for information. Done.
And what sucks is it's like one of the last real sport bikes. It's one of the last inline fours. It has the proper sound in my ears. Like now the highways are. Oh yeah. I missed a.
Do not ride the bike. Transport it to a dealer for repair. Dealers cannot sell new or used 2024s up.
All the dealers have to take apart brand new bikes and re-torque the fucking bolt.
No, it's not retorquing.
They were over-tightened.
I'm going to bet you that since they were over-tightened,
They crimped something.
when you over-tighten something, especially
Mention of a bushing or something, wasn't there?
right. So this is the crankshaft number 5 metal bushing. I'm going to bet that if they over-torqued it on these engine parts that are usually aluminum engine parts, that once you over-torque it, that hole's done.
Yeah, because
You can't untorque it.
You can't un-over-torque
the
it.
brass bushing turned into hydraulic force.
The two worst words in the
basically.
English language. Book rate.
Book rate. Yeah, no shit, book rate. And
You have to rebuild the whole motor.
this, and simply what they're saying is this fix involves servicing the engine's lower end. So to get, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the geography and anatomy of motors. In order to achieve the lower end, you must get through the topper end.
Yeah, it doesn't just
The
come
upper
off.
end. Right. So to find the
The
lower
whole
end.
motor has to come out of the bike and
Bingo.
go onto a workbench.
So we've seen.
Upside down in a ditch on fire.
Yeah. So, right. Yeah. Your insurance is paid in full, right? Remember, that's called what do they call that? The agreed upon amount? Yeah. Yeah. The agreed upon value. So bad news for all you guys who happen to have that. Can't beat an inline 4 sound, Sleepy. No, you are right. You cannot beat an inline 4 sound. That fucking sounds delightful. Big new. That's a big fucking deal. If you guys, if you are one of the people that has this bike, let us know how they're treating you. Let us know what the deal is.
Or what they tell you. What
Yeah.
they tell you the problem was. We want to know because it's interesting because I mean, I can't see it being anything else. If that bolt is over torqued, so I'd like to hear what they say.
If it's over torqued enough that it causes a catastrophic engine failure, then that tells me whatever they've torqued it into is also ruined.
Right.
Right. That's it. And when you get there,
I mean, I was thinking we're not talking like the big ends of the connecting rod are over torqued.
Yes, you are.
Well, okay, so then they're too tight on the crank.
that's what I'm thinking.
If you take it apart and the crank is okay, then it's just take the cap up, maybe a new cap, and put it back on. I don't know.
I don't know.
But think about it. If it's an aluminum case and it's like you said, it has a brass insert, it basically turns into almost like a hydraulic. It's going to squish it enough to push that case out.
Yeah.
And you're done.
Yeah. And I want to see what the original repair was that they said didn't work.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Because
they changed the bushings.
Yeah.
Right.
If they just
pop
went
them out,
with
put
a
it in
thinner
bushing
bushing.
in.
Yeah. I mean, whatever the procedure was, they're saying if you got your recall done, gold star for you, but you got to get back in here.
Yeah.
So whatever that first one was, whatever that first repair was, it didn't do it. So that's scary. That's a scary time to own that particular motorcycle. Glad you didn't. Yeah.
I don't see how things would have been over torqued from the factory. Wouldn't all that, like if you're building a motor in the factory,
Yeah.
wouldn't anything like that was coming in contact with the crankshaft be torqued?
Well,
I mean,
that's-
you
I
would
mean,
all
the-
your bearing, anything like that.
The
Caps
air
and stuff.
ratchet that they had might have been miscalibrated. I mean,
Right.
that's a simple thing is because all you do is just put it on until it stops.
Okay, so yeah, I see what
And it is, that they're saying it's on this one particular journal. So
Yeah.
they've identified it to the point in the assembly process
Right.
where they're like, okay, that machine had a problem. Unfortunately, it made 27,000 motorcycles before they discovered the problem. And 27,000 motorcycles made it out into the world before they discovered the
It'd
problem.
really stink if you owned that motorcycle. If that was your only motorcycle.
Yeah.
And it's 2025, you're still paying on it maybe. And it's the beginning of the riding season. They said, hey, you can't ride your bike.
Right.
So
Yeah.
what you're saying is lemon law?
Well, for sure.
Because that's number 2.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. If
Number
this,
2, it's got to go up to like number 10. They're like,
What
Yeah.
have you been riding your bike since 2024? You bought a brand new one in 24. You've been riding it, and you're like, wait,
Right.
I could have died at almost any time. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, because most people that are buying a ZX6R aren't going 7.
No.
No.
You know, like that. I'm sure, locking it up at 130 miles an hour.
The Honda CBR recall, the CBR 300 recall from 2015, 2016, it ended up being about, I think it was 11,000, 12,000 bikes, right? A lot of bikes, a whole lot of bikes. And they had to replace the crankshafts in those bikes. So that's a bike that when they discovered the problem, a lot of people were still making payments on it. And they had to go in, and that was a stop ride. That was a get your bikes in right now. And because it was crankshaft. And crankshaft again, shuts your motor off, right? A sudden violent stop of your motor at whatever speed you're going when it fails. And then in 2019, same bike, 2019 had a transmission recall. So the CBR 300, not one, but 2 recalls for 2 separate systems. We talked last week about, hey, Honda, get your shit together. We didn't even talk about this. This was not something we brought up during the hey, Honda, get your shit together thing.
Yeah, right.
But that was, that was 11,000 or 12,000 units for the crankshaft and another 4,000 units for the transmission. So yeah, that's not a good place to be if you're making payments. That's a shitty place to be. And again, that's definitely, what do they say? You got to have it back to the same dealership for the same problem 3 times. That's lemon law shit.
How does this make you feel? You abandoned Honda for Kawasaki, and now Kawasaki's letting you down.
Oh,
well, it's just a matter of if you abandon old bikes for new bikes, that's where you get your heart broken.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I liked your saying about KTM.
It wasn't mine. I wish I came.
What, they
up
keep
with
throwing
that.
money?
No, it was good.
It was KTM on Sunday, ATM on Monday. And it's not mine. I take zero credit
That's
for it.
that's an adage as old as time.
Oh, man.
I just never heard it before, and it cracked me.
Oh,
the
that's
hell
come
up.
up on the podcast before.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, I hadn't heard it in a long time.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Yep. That's a tough one. Did anybody do any looking at the Baby GS, the BMW Baby GS?
I glanced.
You
I've
glanced?
seen it in my magazines and
Yeah.
whatnot. I didn't look at the website. But
TVS, so it's not Bajaj.
Right.
So they've got the 310 made by Bajaj, and they've got the 450 being made by TVS, right? So they're different bikes. They're as different as they can be, I think that the 450 is a lot more appealing for
Yeah, I
about
do too.
175 different reasons. Looks like it's a much, much better bike with definitely better delivery.
Are there pictures available?
Yeah, let's
it's
find
been pictures out
yeah.
for. I'm
yeah.
gonna say pictures been out for a year.
Yeah, I was going to say they put the spy
It
photos
looks like
out.
the modern interpretation of the old X.
I think you're right, Tom. I really do think you're right.
It looks
I think,
a lot like the old X.
Yep, I think it is like the old X, and I like it. It's a cool bike. Well, I want to pull the same picture up because I like the contrast in this particular image. Give me a second. Come on.
So this is the one. This is the 450.
Yeah, it's 450.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
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 All right.
So it's going to be. I don't know when it's going to.
That's
I don't.
when we said new. I thought it was like a new one or
No.
something.
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. Yeah.
And I don't know when it's actually going to hit dealers in the United States. They're going to be. It's going to be badged as a. It'll be VINed as a 2027. But did you have any ideas? Is this going to be a third quarter bike?
I do not know.
Yeah.
I don't hate it at all.
I really like it.
It needs a 21.
I thought it
inch
was
front.
going to be a Boxer 700.
Now that's true. It needs a 21-inch front more than anything. Yeah, it needs a 21-inch front because right now
it looks too stumpy. It's too like squished
it
together.
doesn't look dirty. It looks scrambly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look dirty. It looks scrambly.
Cinch.
Yeah. Oh,
It's kind of surprising they didn't go 21-inch on this bike. When you think that the CFMoto Ibex and the Motorini Vittori 450 and all those other ones all went 21 inches.
Is this the GS Adventure or just the GS?
Just the GS, and that's been a typical play in BMW's book. They'll release the GS version, and then maybe a year or two later, the Adventure will come out.
Okay.
So that could be forthcoming.
And the Adventure would probably have the 21, and
that
maybe,
makes
correct
perfect sense.
Bigger tank.
That makes perfect sense. So so
that's all speculation. I've not heard that or seen
but
that.
It is. But that's from their playbook, though.
Yeah,
I mean that's definitely something they've done. So that would be very believable. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I think it's a really cool bike, and they're saying $7,500 is what I heard, based on euros to dollars conversions down and dirty, which makes it about $1,000 higher than the Ibexes and the Vittoris and a lot of those 450s that are coming out these days. So
we should look at the VIN code on that bike and see where it's made.
Yes, who had the VIN code descrambler? Where did that end up?
I sent you. I sent you guys to look it up. It's hold on. I'll look at the thing.
I like the code
this
that
was so
says
fun.
G.
It's neat because then you can just settle arguments in 4 seconds when somebody's like, "My bike was made in Bavaria." You're like, "Oh, gee, but no, dude. I'm sorry. Hate to tell you."
Yeah, and that's always and that's the great thing is that there's an absolute system. First character, if it's a 1, a 4, or a 5, that's United States.
So the list that you want, this will tell you what factory and city your bike was made in by using the first couple of letters. It's the World Manufacturers Code list.
Right.
And if you look at that, that's so like you said, the first number will be the country, then the next two are those numbers, and you can look, whatever, and it adds them all up, and you can see what country, what city, and what factory, even on some bikes, it's actually made in.
This is absolutely fantastic for saying, we can tell you where the thing came from. And it's for automobiles too. So it works for anything with a VIN. And definitely a good thing to have.
Do you have a website or something up? Or no?
Yeah, I was looking for something that had a little bit of a sexier graphic than just simply a list of fucking numbers.
That's all I could find.
That's what it is.
But it is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you can Google it. So go look at your VIN number and be like, okay, my VIN starts with a J.
Correct.
And then you go look at the quick code. Well, J is Japan.
Right.
Yeah.
And mostly it follows kind of like that. But like England is S, and you can't just go by that.
And then Dan, what was yours was, what did you say, MS or
SM.
SM?
Yeah.
SM. His was England.
So the M gives you the region, and then
right. Yeah, and so I think it's pretty awesome that they give you that 3-digit breakdown right off the tick. Mm-hmm. And
well, Pete had it happen in the field, right?
Yeah, actually, the guy that was riding the brand new KTM on the trip this week, we had just had a discussion about where they were made and that Bajaj had taken over KTM and blah, blah, blah. And then it wasn't like 10 minutes later, I get the text from you guys about this decoder thing, and we were actually working on the bike. We're done the first break-in oil change at the hotel, and I was like, "Well, let's try it right now." And I took the picture of his VIN and sent it to you guys, and you sent it back.
Yeah.
I replied, by the way.
Thank you, John.
Very, very good. It's funny how you see all these things coming through. Now, keep in mind, some countries will get sneaky on the assembly. So they'll have a vehicle that is CKD, completely knocked down. And then they'll be like, oh, well, we made that in, America. But then you find out it was actually made in like Smatmanistan, and they just did the final assembly in Mexico. Smatmanistan. It's one of the stands. And
Smatfadian people are very
It's in
nice
between East
people,
Fuckistan
right,
and
exactly.
Mannequin.
But there were a couple of companies that we knew about that were extraordinarily not friendly to the United States, and they were having their bikes shipped in to Mexico and having the final assembly done in Mexico, the final assembly being done in Mexico, and all of a sudden they're putting advertising out everywhere that says made in America because Mexico's America. Mexico's part of America. So they're putting advertising out everywhere with big giant red, white, and blue flags and stars and stripes on everything. And everybody's like, yeah, made in America, made in America. And I was like, oh, really? That's not made in America. That's not even close to being made in America. It's lightly assembled in Mexico.
Within view of America.
Not even within view of America, because where they were going was extraordinarily low budget. So they weren't anywhere near the border where labor would be expensive. They were in the extreme hill country where,
Oaxaca.
probably worse than Oaxaca, probably way worse than Oaxaca. So yes, pretty bad news, man. That was not great. So speaking of Mexico, we have a podcast listener. We have one podcast.
Only
listener.
one.
Right. So
Thanks for joining us.
No, actually, we have two.
Sometimes.
well, how about this? Hello, Uncle Phil. My name is Bernardo Ramirez.
Nice.
See, I rubbed a little hint of Spanish.
You didn't drop the NPR when they just go full like.
I did not. No, instantly, all of a sudden, right? I was listening to the podcast and I realized that you were going to be coming to my hometown of Guadalajara for the N Vespa MX event. This is the Mexico's National Vespa Rally. And we're going to be there. So me and Dr. Waters are going. We're going to go with the Baileys from San Diego. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And so I enjoyed your podcast with Robot. And I really felt good about how you love Mexico and you look forward to coming down. Absolutely. Yes.
Nice.
We do. We love your country and we love visiting.
I mean, I've heard so many amazing stories of your adventures in Mexico,
Yeah.
all positive and fun and exciting and fuck.
Yeah. And Pete's
I second the motion.
yeah, Pete's experience too of being along the Rio Grande where you were traveling on your bikes and being at that point where Mexico and the United States butt up against each other. And that's a surreal place to be. It's wild to be riding along in a place where there's no fence. And you're like, there's a huge border problem. We're going to build a wall. There's nothing. There's literally nothing. And everyone pictures in their head that the border between the United States and Mexico is some barrier. You could walk across that river.
The Rio Grande
It's not grande.
It's not grande. It's no wider than a 2-lane street in many places, and it's knee deep if it's dry season.
Yeah.
And if you could swim, you could swim across it in wet season.
Right. And this is like, there are so many amazing, beautiful places in Mexico that are literally on the border where you could start driving at breakfast and cross that border 4 or 5 times before lunch. It's not what you think it is, guys. I know that there's a lot of pressure. Go ahead.
Can we say that ClevelandMoto podcast loves Mexico?
We do. Absolutely.
Very good.
Absolutely. I have never had a bad time in multiple trips to Mexico. Absolutely always had a great time. And the people are the reason for that. They're extremely generous. So he says, my oldest girl is getting married that same weekend in Tapalpa. So I will not be attending the N Vespa MX.
Oh.
I have a vintage Vespa that you can borrow for the event. Wow. Its original title is from 1957.
Wow.
Although it's just a few original parts remain from that year. Now it's a Frankenstein bike, mostly with parts from a 70s Vespa and some new stuff from SIP. Well, of course, all the best Mexican Vespas are from Germany. But it looks very good and is in running order. See attached pictures. I try to ride it at least once a week. If you need other bikes to tour around on, I have a Triumph Speed 400 and a BMW R1250 HPGS. Oh, well,
nice.
Okay. Yeah.
You might have to take him a box of swag or something.
Tell me what dates you're going to be in town, and surely we can coordinate something. There are many nice curvy roads around Guadalajara that might surprise you. Best regards to all the crew, Steve, Pete, John, Tom, Chris, Sean, etc. He named all of us. Thank you. And he says, and he throws up a really cool picture. Here's him on his total fucking sleeper Vespa, 1957 Vespa with a P200 motor in it. Yeah. So that's beautiful. Sweet ass ride. Yep. Sweet ass ride. 10-inch conversion on the tires and wheels. And then he's also got, I like this picture of his garage. I think this picture right there.
Nice soft lighting.
Oh, man.
That's a nice garage, friends.
I'm not mad.
No,
See,
that's a
he's
cool garage.
See, he has my mentality. He doesn't
Right.
have two of the same thing.
No.
He's got the big bike, cover long distances. He's got the fun middleweight to go and have some fun. And then he's got his vintage sled to go and fucking rock a show like
That's
that.
a perfect three-bike garage.
Perfect garage. That's a good.
Yeah, that is a perfect three-bike garage. Vintage Vespa in a beautiful blue color. And then he's got the Triumph 400, brand new, Speed 400. And then he's got that big badass GS.
Well, I'm going to point out, too, he's got an Italian,
Yes.
an English, and a German.
Yeah. And there's a Mercedes car behind it.
While in Mexico.
Within Mexico. That's exactly right. He's an
Wow, that
international.
rear shock is amazing on that Vespa. That thing's riding like 3-4 inches high.
Oh, if you've seen, like, this is a Frankenbike. The term Frankenbike. This is truly one of those things where you're like, yeah, somebody says, I'm going to put a big 200 motor in this little old Vespa. And also, I'll bet you that front wheel is 90% of filling up that front fender already. Yeah. So that front suspension has got to be stiffer than anything you've ever encountered in your life. I mean, like 4 Viagra stiffnesses. And there's no way that front end can dip an inch. Yeah. That's OD on blue pills. Crazy cool. But man, thrilled, absolutely thrilled, Bernie.
Gracias for the kind words.
Mucho gracias. Yeah, that is super, super nice. And
if you're ever in Cleveland, the offer extends to you, my friend.
Yes, it sure does. And by the way, didn't we just talk about DGR? Well, that's DGR in Guadalajara, Mexico, guys.
Nice.
So just to remind you, it's happening over the whole planet, and they look dapper as fuck. Mm-hmm. So,
but he didn't need patches because he has a vintage Vespa.
He does.
So that's why that worked.
He has a very cool vintage Vespa.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's super great. And that's the kind of email. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that here, when I get emails like that, super exciting.
Speaking of emails, didn't you promise some hate mail?
Well,
we also love those though too.
We call all the mail hate mail, but a lot of times anymore, it's not really hateful.
I know, but we are kind of
disappointing.
We're in an abusive relationship with our audience. Sometimes.
We understand. Okay, here we go. Alex says, "Hey, I'm looking at bringing a 2007-ish Triumph Daytona motor across from Toronto through Buffalo to replace a blown motor. As an organization that has purchased many parts on that side of the line, I wanted to ask you if you have any thoughts or advice on what hurdles I might run into with a complete motor in the back of a rental. Suppose I should also ask about a Patreon stuffed box." Yeah, you should. He's been a Patreon member for 5 years. Keep up the good work. Always love having you guys talking into my head. So that's our friend Alex. So Alex, here's what I'm going to tell you. Has anybody transported a motor from the Great White North here into the lower 50 and lower 48? Have anyone done it?
No.
I'm going to say that I've crossed the border numerous times, and I've never been searched for motors. Now, I cannot.
He has been digitally probed.
I cannot tell you what might happen if you get discovered with a motor, but I'd take my chances.
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
I've brought a lot of bikes back, including an Outlaw CBR 400R.
My friend was up from the States and he hit a moose. And so I'm trying to repay him the favor and take him down a fucking engine,
I bought a whole CBR, an absolutely gray market bike that should not have been in the United States. It wasn't old enough yet. And I picked it up in Toronto and picked it up there, put it in the back of my van.
It's a great fucking city, man.
Put it in the back of the van and piled a bunch of stuff up in front of it, a conversion van. And then garbage picked from my friend's house, a gas oven, put that in there. Also in front of the CBR. So the CBR is like along the left windows of the conversion van. And then there's a bunch of stuff. And then there's big gas dryer. And coming across the border, I had a lot planned. It was Y2K. It was literally the Y2K New Year's Eve event, right? And so my vehicle was extraordinarily full of contraband. And they focused so hard on that gas dryer. That was a garbage pick, literally took it off my neighbor's tree lawn, Rich and Heather's tree lawn. They focused so hard. They figured out what the dollar value was of a 20-year-old gas washer or gas oven, gas stove for powder coating. They figured out what the value was of that cocksucker and wanted to charge me a duty on a 20-plus-year-old gas stove. Thank God they did, though, because they did not notice the entire motorcycle hiding on the other side of all the packing material, cardboard, and other shit I had in there. Distract them.
So on that same note, get 3 bottles of Gibson Canadian whiskey, drive on in, declare the Gibsons,
right,
and see what the fuck they say,
right.
And once you get it in, I'll buy the Gibsons from you.
Right.
And,
I can tell you, don't be with the buddy who has ecstasy and try to come back.
Also,
that
good
goes,
tip.
That goes really bad.
I would also recommend if it's a rental car, you get the insurance or at least cover the car.
Yeah, the rental car
really well.
Could you say they took the motor up to have it worked on and I'm bringing it back?
Here's something
Really,
I
you
did.
you could say that.
I don't know if
I know you
pull
can say that, but
You might have a receipt that says you got some work done, but I went up years ago and came back with an open pickup truck, which is a dicey move, with an open pickup truck with 2 vintage Vespas that were not titled, like they were not cleared to come into the United States, and a whole lot of parts, like
Allegedly.
$5,000 worth of parts.
Allegedly.
And I literally filled up the entire back seat of a Chevy S10 extended cab with expensive parts. And here was my technique. I took everything out of the packaging. My friend was working at Motoretta in Toronto at the time. I went back to their waste oil, and I took this beautiful white Vespa, 1979 Vespa, and I took a white bike, and I just rubbed waste oil all over this thing, right? And on the left side, I used a dry erase marker and wrote, doesn't run, no title, $100. And I wrote that, and then I rubbed oil on top of it, greasy, dirty oil on top of it. And on the other bike,
You sneaky Pete.
and on the other bike, I wrote, hasn't run in 20 years, no title, too old, $100. And I also gave it the oil treatment. Made it look like you didn't want to touch it anywhere, like it had been sitting in a garage. I threw dirt at it. Then all my parts I took out of the original packaging. I left all the packaging for all the parts in Canada. I had the parts. I wrapped them in newspapers after I liberally smothered them with oils, right? I picked up about $600, $700 worth of chrome plating I had done at Mayfair Plating up in Toronto because they did great work. I grabbed all that stuff, wrapped it in newspapers too, and as soon as I hit the border, as soon as the customs guys made eye contact with me and my S10, I looked at the customs guys and I was like, he goes, did you buy those in Canada? And I became his worst enemy. Dude, I went to a swap meet. You would not believe the cool shit they had up there. You need to go there now, man. Look at all this shit I got. I got that bike for $100. I got that other bike for $50. I got all these parts and all this cool shit. This guy was selling off this guy's got to be 80 years old. He's selling off everything he had acquired over the years. Look at this cool shit. And I'm literally opening up my truck, pointing at shit. And he's like, no, man, that looks cool. Do you have anything in here that's worth more than $400? And I went, I don't know. I guess if we put it all together, it might be worth $400. I really didn't keep track. Like, do you have receipts for any of this shit? I was like, well, no, I kind of onesie-twosied it. And I'm like, but no, you need to check this out. He had some other bikes up there. He had some mopeds up there. I was like, you should see the mopeds he has. And if you don't know when a customs agent is about to pop, it's when you say mopeds. When you start talking about mopeds, they just glaze over. And he was like, get out of here. And I just fucking went straight through. It took me 25, 30 minutes to clean that shit up when I got home. I paid $3,000 for one of those bikes. Yeah, statute of limitations, long fucking gone.
Dude.
Just make it look shitty. So you're picking up what are you picking up? You're picking up a 2007. Goddamn near 20 years old.
Yeah.
But not 25 years old. You're picking up a 2007 Triumph Daytona motor. Make it look shitty. You got it. It's in a nice wooden box, right? It's in a nice wooden crate. No, take it out of the fucking crate.
But I mean, like, it's not a vehicle.
No.
So, like, it's just basically parts.
So here's what's going to happen. A customs agent that's on his game is going to Google what the replacement price is for a motor for a 2007 Triumph Daytona. And I'm going to bet that in year of our Lord 2007, if you blew the motor up in your Triumph Daytona and you called Triumph and said, hey, Triumph, send me a new motor for my 2007 Triumph Daytona, I'm going to bet you to say it was a $2,900 motor or a $3,900 motor or maybe more. Yeah. And they're going to expect you to pay duty on that motor. And they get real weird about bearings and gaskets and seals and all that shit that should only be made in America coming across the border this way. Coming from Canada into us. We used to have to, like, when we'd go to scooter rallies, we had stories of people getting shaken down for the bearings, the spare bearings, the crankshaft bearings and stuff they'd have in their toolkits for their vintage Vespas. They'd come across the border and they'd be like, oh, bearings, you got to declare bearings. We got to know what do you got in bearings in here? He's like, I got like fucking 6 bearings in case I need to do a motor rebuild on the side of the road. Mm-hmm. No, they're getting shaken down for that shit. So if you're going to do it, I like the idea of the rental car. That's cool. I love that. So they automatically are just expecting drugs.
I was going to say, make sure you put like band stickers on the back, deadhead sticker.
I just don't know. I just don't know what the run is. I'm not hip enough to know, like, what's the cool thing to smuggle from Canada into the United States? Because I'm assuming it's an American, USA rental car going into Canada and coming back out of Canada.
Right.
Right? Right. Yeah.
I like Chris's idea.
Yeah.
I think that's the winner so
I think
far.
the best idea is always get some liquor and fucking tell them about it.
And fireworks.
Right. No, you can't declare fireworks, but you can definitely declare
what
liquor.
About bear spray. Like, I bought a lot of bear spray.
Go to the duty free and get your fucking
Gibson's Canadian
There you go.
whiskey.
And
please bring it over here and send it to the podcast.
And
please,
get enough
because
of
we
it.
need some more.
Yeah. And if you're only going to be in town for one day, it's 1 bottle per person per day, right? Is that the rule?
Yeah.
Get 2 or 3. So you have to declare it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they look at you and say, hey, you dumb fuck.
You dumb fuck. Exactly. Oh, here's me. I'm declaring my 2 handles of whiskey. Oh, right. Jesus Christ.
Keep moving.
Give us $4 and get the fuck out of here.
Get you.
Or like when you get to the window, pull out an orange or something or whatever you're not allowed to bring over.
Oh, fruit and vegetable.
Fuck, I forgot. I'm sorry. Here.
Who do I talk to about this?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I've never broken the law before.
Get you a round piece of glass.
Coming back from an island.
Don't dude me.
Coming back from an island, I almost got fucking arrested for having an orange. I was coming back from
but what orifice did you have the orange in?
That was a problem.
It was on the body cavity search.
But like I was bringing back all this drone shit, and I thought they were going to bust me for all the drone shit.
He had it way up his ass.
So I'm watching like thousands of milliamps of batteries just go by on the thing, and that's not the problem.
No, it's an orange.
What the fuck? Orange. And so like, can you open your backpack? I'm like, okay, and I open the backpack, and I'm sorry, it was an apple. They pull out an apple. And they're like, is this yours? I'm like,
oh, now it's an apple.
Oh, my wife got shaken down for carrots and broccoli. It's because she's health conscious, She can't travel for more than an hour without broccoli and a carrot.
Keeps the mail moving.
I was on Calabria Island, and then we were coming back. We were on the mainland in Puerto Rico, and that's where they were fucking with me coming back to the States. I was shooting a commercial for Corona beer.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Come on.
It was fun, man. That was a good time.
So you get you a piece of round glass, and you call it a table.
Oh, yes.
It goes on top of that.
That's true. It's an art project.
It's an art project.
It's an art project. Right. It's an art project.
All right.
Oh, that's actually a really good idea. Go up, grab the fucking thing, throw it in your trunk. Like, literally wrap it up, not in a box. Don't make it look like you paid any money for it. It wouldn't hurt to shit it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Make a stand.
Put it in a milk crate.
Like if you can make a stand, you're going to need a stand anyways. If you put like a nice piece of wood on the bottom of the stand, it's going on my coffee table.
I would strongly recommend the story that my friend blew the motor up in his motorcycle.
And he died.
No, I'm just going to make art out of it.
Because
I'm going to make art out of it.
You got to put some sympathy in there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It was the last bike he had on the track when he died, and I'm going to make a coffee table for his wife.
If there's a little bit of illicitness to it, you could say, "I'm going to make beer."
To prison.
With an apple up his ass.
I'm going to put it on the bar and make.
Going to prison.
I'm going to put it on the bar and make beer taps out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm going to have a 3-cylinder tapper.
Exactly.
Right. That's what I'm going to do.
Some dude down the street.
Canadians would get into that.
He made a mailbox out of his motor. the air cleaner is just a big air cleaner.
Because I mean, it's like you said, it's a 20-year-old motor.
You got to tap into what the Canadians are really into. You got to tap into that whole idea. But you're going to
be a moose glory.
But you're going to be staring down the barrel of U.S. customs, though.
Right.
You don't see the Canadians coming that way.
Only going up.
That's back, right. Yeah. Coming back, you're going to be dealing with U.S. customs agents. So with U.S. customs agents.
Well, especially now with everything that's being wiggly and stuff.
Oh, God. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Here's the next question.
The next question is, how brown are you?
Well, here's the next question.
We don't want to be facing any ice problems.
Do you come back at a busy time or you try to come back at a low time?
Ooh, good tactic. Yeah.
Busy.
So you're saying come back at a busy time.
I am.
And then go through Fort Erie where it's like high volume.
When you were running heroin, what did you do?
So what I did was Mrs. Smith had an extended... I can't give it away.
You can't give away those secrets.
Hollow leg. Yeah, so coming back through, you would say like you want to do the Rainbow Bridge right by the falls where there's, it's just all tourists.
Right.
Yeah.
And
that is a good thing.
Go through on a monkey.
Yeah.
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 Put on your favorite.
Nobody looked at us.
No, of course not. What the fuck could you possibly transport? You represent no ability to transport anything.
Put on a maple leaf sweater. Just like a hockey sweater rolling through there like, hey, came to see a game. It's not the season.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Since it's going to be a rental car anyway, is it in his best interest to have a passenger with him so they look like they went up to see the falls?
Yeah.
Right? Because that's all you rental car.
So you pick up a prostitute in Buffalo.
Right. Rental car.
If you go to a bus station, you can find a passenger.
I went through that border going northbound on a Greyhound, where we all had to get out of the Greyhound, go in and go through all the paperwork, and then get back on the Greyhound and take the rest of the way up to Toronto, right? Then when I got to Toronto, I bought a Toyota Previa in Toronto, bolted my license plates onto it from America, and drove back down. And it turns out they know how many which vehicles come into their country and which vehicles leave. And so when I tried to leave there in a Toyota Previa that didn't come into the country, they were like, that's odd. We're losing one, but we didn't gain one to begin with.
Terrorista.
And the other problem was I had the United States license plates on this Previa, but when I pulled up, my headlights were already on. And the Canadian cars, you can't turn the headlights off.
Huh.
The American cars, you can. So having United States plates on in the broad daylight with the headlights on, that's what the guy told me was the giveaway.
But do you think it's because it was kind of an odd car compared to like if you had a Canadian fucking Ford Taurus?
It was a shitbox 94 Previa, right?
But what year is this?
This happened like 6 years ago.
Yeah, so that's kind of getting to be like almost
it was
hey, what's this car doing?
It was a shitbox Previa.
Okay.
And so my only hope was I was like, yeah, my mom took the thing up a year ago to visit her sister. Had a problem, motor blew up or whatever. This thing's been held hostage in some fucking dinky ass corner shop. I said, fuck it, I'm coming up to get the damn thing. And he was like, well, where's your title? I said, Americans don't keep their titles with us. We don't have our title with us. And the guy was like, well, I'm going to run the VIN. I'm going to run the plate and everything else. I said, run the plate. And the plate came back to a 94, or 96 Toyota Previa. And he was like, well, let me run the VIN and everything else. And I was like, how long are you going to keep me here, man? And I was like, shit, if they run the VIN and the plate don't match even slightly close. And the jig's going to be up because it's very clearly a Canadian car. And yeah, it was a $500 car. I went up to buy a $500 car and I just don't want to do all the paperwork for a $500 car. And at the time, the car wasn't 25 years old yet, so I couldn't legally bring it in the United States. Statute of limitations out on that one, by the way. So, yes, I did illegally bring a car from Toronto into the United States.
Gray market, Phil.
It wasn't even gray market. That shit is just fucking bold. That is not supposed to be there.
So when this is going on, what was your fallback position?
My fallback position was I was going to have to walk away from the car.
Just leave it.
Just fucking leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just walk through the border. Yeah, literally
but
walk
your
through the
risk
border.
level was low. It was more,
It was a $500 car.
You're leaving it behind, so who cares?
Yeah. The whole trick is going to be like, I made it, obviously, you're just being waived. All you have to do is deal with the people in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Right? That was my jam was I was like, okay, I'm going to hit Fort Erie. But what I should have done was I should have done the Rainbow Bridge in hours of darkness. So the headlights would be on. They're supposed to be on. because it's dark
Oh,
out.
right.
Right? That
Yeah.
whole thing, that would have been a better sale,
Yeah.
right? And it would have been better for me to have a team player with me. It'd be way less weird than a solo guy driving a shitbox Previa, right, across the border in broad daylight. It would be better if it'd be like, two of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like, yeah.
With age brings wisdom.
Yes, exactly. I'm still thrilled that I made it, thrilled that it worked out because I was able to use all the parts off of that one to fix the one that I blew up. So, yeehaw, great.
Was that the windows at the IX Center?
Yeah, that was the one that I hit an 18-wheeler with. Extremely embarrassing. Look, man, it's one thing to be like, look, it's all-wheel drive and supercharged. Let's go out and play in the deep snow in the giant world's biggest parking lot. And then lose it so irretrievably that you go across the entire IX Center parking lot backwards and sideways and hit an 18-wheeler.
Oh,
Yeah.
sad.
That was
Jesus
parked.
Christ.
It wasn't even a moving 18-wheeler. It was like
What's up, Mike?
the Rock of Gibraltar. So,
Hate mail.
yeah, it was pretty bad. I think that's it. Travis Parsons definitely in at the $5 level, and Christopher Morgan says there's no way Graham Sykes was actually on our podcast,
Well,
No.
there you go.
and for that we say yes.
You can watch it.
I mean, there's
He
video.
was.
There's
He
audio.
absolutely was. Absolutely.
He's the coolest guy I've ever talked to.
Including me?
Well, I mean, I talk to you a lot.
Come on.
This is
Mitch.
one of the things where it was like talking to him on the podcast, super exciting, super awesome. Almost couldn't believe it was real.
Yeah.
And then today I called I called Abby from Iconic Motorbikes. So super excited to get Abby on here.
So he
because
is.
Abby, I just
Yeah.
if you're not following Iconic Motorbikes right now, you're silly because it's great motorcycles.
And at the AIM show, he was a cool fucking guy. Like, besides having a cool company, like he just rolled up like he was our best bud. And was just
He's
cool.
a super nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a super, super nice guy. So yeah, the idea of getting some of these interviews rolling with some of these just legitimately amazing
I can't
heroes
wait to
of
hear the
motorcycling.
story. I've read it, but I want to hear it. I
Yeah.
want to hear the story of how they started that.
How they
shit.
started that
Oh,
company.
I'm so excited
Yeah.
for that.
Because every single time I look on their website, there's some other motorcycle I've been lusting after for 30 fucking years.
They've touched every girl I've ever wanted to touch. And then they got the older mechanic dude, and he fingers all of them. He's down there just finger banging every one of those bikes. Just, I'm drooling. He'll be like, first time this RC30 started in 20 years.
20 years.
You're
Exactly.
like,
Yeah,
oh.
right. Yeah. It's a really cool operation. And the problem is it keeps making me look at the bikes and going, well, I could go to California to pick up a bike.
Yeah.
No, they ship right to your fucking house.
I know.
I got those two bikes. I got the Suzuki and that BMW.
Dude,
They showed up 5 days.
They have right now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch it. I'm not because I have other things going on. But they have an '87 GSXR 1100 or something. It was at like $3,200 with like 22 hours left. I was like, oh my.
Tom and I were watching the Eldorado. So they had a Moto Guzzi Eldorado that it didn't meet reserve, did it?
No, it didn't.
It didn't meet reserve. And it was just that kind of thing where it wasn't a prom queen. It wasn't a perfect restoration.
No, it was a rideable.
It was a running rideable motorcycle. You'd be like, buy that thing, put tires on it.
It needed tires. That
It
was
did
about
need
it.
tires. Yeah, those tires, based on the sheer power of an Eldorado, those tires probably only had 5 or 6 years left in them.
I mean, the sidewalls were a bit sketchy.
They were sketchy as fuck, but I've also seen customers ride into our shop on tires that I told them to replace 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're like, see? They didn't need to be replaced. I'm like, oh my God, man.
When are we finding the yellow H6B?
I'm sorry?
When are we finding the yellow H6B?
The F6B.
F6B.
F6B, it hasn't popped yet.
Oh my
it
God.
hasn't popped. But
need
there is
that.
there is that thing in my life where I'm like, yeah, I think I want a big, stupid Honda. Yeah. Not a Goldwing. A slightly younger version of a Goldwing. Yeah.
That would
A
be
yellow
so
F6B
cool.
would be super fun.
I always wanted to ride one of those big, like via the bigger than Africa Twin. Like it was bigger, the 1200, whatever version of it they had for a while. It's a big touring bike. It's the Cross Tour 1200 or something.
That's the VFR Interceptor. That's the Interceptor
X.
on stilts.
X.
So it's a VFR 1200.
on still.
Jacked up.
Yeah.
I know. I've always wanted
the
to
British
ride that.
love
Oh,
them.
they're really cool.
Yeah. Dude,
and they only did them for like 2 years.
Were they
know,
ever
but-
sold here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were
and I've
sold here?
seen them. Like there's
Yeah.
a couple times when I've been like fuck, I don't need that bike. But it was like a price like $6,000, but like,
so they just didn't hold their value.
Some of them are still 14. So like there's a pretty big variance what I've seen available.
It's a weird thing. Somebody told me something horrible about them once, and I can't remember what it was, but they literally only were around for 2 years.
Wow.
I managed to work on one.
But you know what pissed me off was that Honda fucking put the BMW wheels on that bike, but not the Africa Twin.
So
they have
what you're saying is they
out.
had the parts to make the tubeless 1200.
Yeah.
They just didn't do it for the Africa Twin.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because the Africa Twin
what a dick move.
needs sturdier wheels or whatever. Because that's the one thing I hate about my Africa Twin is the tube.
There's the picture. You can throw the picture up. I put it up here too.
Yeah.
Sleepy. There it is.
I swore when it came in, I was like, wow, this is a really cool looking V-Strom.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If nobody told you, if you took the wings off the side, you'd be like, yeah, it's a V-Strom.
And the one I worked on was a full fairing, so it had that whole setup, but the fairing comes down below to the belly pan.
So it had a belly pan that worked into it. Yeah. I mean, cool bike, and obviously that V4 motor is
that's different wheels on that one, though.
Yeah. Well, that's got the crisscross
No, the other ones, these were spoked. Is that spoked?
These are spoked. Yeah, look. Yeah, those are spokey dokes. Yeah, that's the crossover tubeless.
Yeah. What I see is it was introduced in 2012 and then through 16 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it was one of those things where Honda did like every other year, like they do their oddballs.
Yeah, and again,
because they're uber rare.
Here's a 2018.
And European sites, I've seen people just worship these fucking bikes.
What's the HP on it, John?
Okay.
Got to figure it out.
Well, I just noticed that he had the page
have to hook it up to his dynamometer. Yeah. Engine
and sound, the 76 degree V4 offers a barking exhaust note, strong, smooth power.
Man, I kind of want one, dude. I miss V4. I love my Toronto.
DCT though, were they all DCT?
No,
absolutely not.
So Phil, I got an update
127 HP.
That's what I said. 127 to 129 and 93 torque scissors.
But you put a pipe on that, that's going to sound so nice.
Yeah.
And it's a Honda, so it won't break.
Nope.
Well, at least it's an older Honda, so it won't break.
It's probably going to be fine. Yeah.
Phil didn't rate it really high on
I personally don't think
reliability
that
scale, though.
It's not a bike that I would buy and be like, I'm going to put 1,200 miles on it or 12,000 miles on it. It'd probably be a bike that I'd own and keep for like a year or two and just be like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Say goodbye at the first valve adjustment.
You know what's funny is it's 20 some horsepower less than the Ducati Multistrada. And I like the Ducati Multistrada, but I like the Ducati Multistrada for completely all the wrong reasons, like the reasons that will end up putting you in jail or the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Because that's what the Multistrada does really fucking well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's what it does really well. And I'm not saying this isn't going to do that, but the Ducati does.
Well, there's a reason Ryan chose that bike to go around the world. Huh?
Yeah. It's a pretty fucking great bike. And the Multistrada does a really good job. And I can tell you that that's what Honda was definitely aiming this thing at the Multistrada, 100%. So that's cool. Yeah, curious.
So update for you.
Yeah.
That Gucci we were looking at on Iconic,
yes,
has been relisted with a buy it now of 9,000.
Oh,
show us your feet, Tom.
Wow.
Hey, woo!
$9,000 for a buy it now.
Yeah, it's a buy it 9,095.
Woo! Oh, they're proud of that bike.
I mean, it went to what, 3,400 and cashed out?
Yeah, they're too proud of that bike. Yeah, they're too proud of that. And that was, I think it went to 40. It was right at
4,000 right under 4.
Yeah, so the bidding, and that's a really cool thing about Iconic Motorbikes, is you can look at the bidding results and look at the history of all these different bikes they've had listed. And there's tons of bikes. So if you have something in your garage and you're not sure what it's worth, you can look it up on Iconic and you can see what it actually sold for in various different types of condition. So yeah, pretty cool.
There's a Hawk at 600 right now. But
what about the Gixxer? Did you see the Gixxer?
Oh, and a GT6.
Nice
GT Hawk. Yeah.
What about the Gixxer, man?
What about the Gixxer, man? Don't leave me hanging on the Gixxer, man. Yeah, don't leave me hanging on the Gixxer.
Come on, Tom. Look that shit up, dude.
Yeah, find the Gixxer so we can exit out of this podcast.
So I had like 20. It's got to be like at like 18 hours.
Oh, the 750?
Yeah.
86?
Yeah.
3350 right now with 17 hours left.
Oh, cheap money.
Oh no, but it's the fucking gorgeous one, dude.
Go get it. I
wouldn't even ride it. I would just look at it.
It's that
big
one
pussy.
It's the one where it still looks like the Gamma.
Yeah, it's a Gamma. Yeah, right. Or ish. Yeah.
Well, it's the Gamma body style.
It's sexy. It's a you buy it and you just stare at it. You make squishy noises.
Comes with a free dobro.
Yeah, that'd be even better.
I mean, was that the? Well, I thought I saw there was a katana.
There's a
up there
katana there, too.
No,
Yeah.
there's no. You don't talk about that bike around a Gixxer.
Completely unlovable.
Yes.
Yeah, completely unlovable.
And I only like the Gixxers pre-90. After that, they're okay.
You can throw it up if you want. That one sold for $8,000.
Yeah, that was the black. But the blue and white one.
Does that have headlight boobies?
Of course it does.
Yeah, of course it does. What
Of course.
New?
Of course. Yep. There you go. Look at that.
Oh, come on, man.
It also has sacks.
Yeah, it has all.
That is a fairing only.
It has the
That is a
Suzuki
fairing
Advanced
only
Cooling
Sleepy
System.
could love.
Dude, I can hear it. Like, to me, that
Yeah.
reminds me of Tankers Creek Park, 1989, sitting there with my stupid 600. And these dudes would roll in with the Vance and Hines.
I feel like Vanilla Ice is just ready to play right now.
It's a full floater.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it is. Look at it. Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's what you go for right there. There's your front end. Yep, that's what you want. No, I don't want to listen to it. No. I don't want to listen to it. All right. Anybody else got anything else?
Yes.
Yep. What you got?
Remember to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
All the channels.
All the fucking channels. Go to
Sorry, I
Cleveland.
had to remember that.
That's right. Yeah. Do the things. Do the things. Yeah. Do the things. Do all the stuff. Yeah. Please do. Got a lot of shit going on. We're getting geared up for it. So pretty excited.
Weather's starting.
Somebody told me if they volunteered at AMA Vintage Days that they could get in a day early, and they only have to volunteer for 4 hours. So
Interesting.
you might
Tell us more,
want to
Uncle
look
Phil.
into that. Apparently, you can volunteer, and I don't know. I don't know if you're volunteering with AMA Vintage. With
If I
AMA.
volunteer,
So, like, we've had 47,000 volunteers in the last 4
Right?
minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
and remember, you can't be fired as a volunteer.
No, not even.
Oh,
close.
that's true. Once you're in, fuck
Right.
off.
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
Yes.
Special volunteer camping area too.
Yeah, just stand in the middle of our camping area and yell at Sleepy about putting up yellow tape.
That's what this person had said, or one of our patrons had said they were planning on doing it. And they said the other advantage is you get to sleep, you get to set up in the volunteer
Sleep until 10
camping.
o'clock.
Oh, I don't want that.
Volunteer camping area.
But no, listen, if you really
Yeah.
want to pull off like you're doing something, if
Yeah.
you come and argue with me, we can just sit there and have a beer, but they'll just believe that you're doing your job.
That's true.
Because everybody comes and argues with me. So there you
You
go.
can't take up 17 spots.
We could be doing that thing like in the movies, like, hey, you look really nice today. So do you.
But if you are curious about volunteering at AMA, volunteer at ama-cycle.org. Go ahead, find out what the hell the deal is. If you want to get in a day early, this is this is obviously a secret way to get in a day early, and you maybe get a T-shirt out of the deal. You get to volunteer for 4 hours, for 4 fucking hours. That's nothing. That's a minor contribution. I don't think they're going to have you flag in traffic or anything that requires skill or sensibility.
It's only have a 6-pack.
You might be right. You might be lucky enough to be just being nice to people, right? I mean, it's the
Emptying
AMA.
garbage cans.
Oh yeah, they pay people for that.
Okay.
They're not going to give you put you in charge of anything that you might hurt yourself on. Yeah, this is volunteer level shit. You might be working the booth or something for 3 hours. That'd be cool, or 4 hours. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't even think that was an option, but apparently there's benefits. So yeah, everybody's looking for an angle at AMA Vintage Days. Yep.
The greatest event in the
All right, if nobody's got anything else, folks, please remember to ride fast and take chances. Play us out of here, Johnny Mac.
Bum, bum, ba, 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 bum, bum, ba, 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 ba. Bum, ba, ba, da, ba, da, ba, ba, bum, ba, ba, ba.
Hey, Jack, check us out of here. Sleepy, hit the red button. Ooh, creepy.
That was a real motorcycle-y podcast.
That was a super motorcycling podcast.
Holy fuck. You might think we know what we're doing.
Yeah, right? Ouchies.
I'm going to walk in front of the cameras.
Dude, you're killing me, man.